If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. Yes, we're back today on a WoT Wednesday. Actually, there was some news that dropped. We're going to talk about that here shortly. Obviously, you can see around for the title at the bottom of the screen, we are going to be talking about Crossroads of Twilight also at some point tonight. I can't promise it's going to be immediately because there's a good amount of news and some theorizing that has to be done. Yes. But before I introduce my wonderful guests, who you all hopefully know well, because we've done this, this will be our 10th time here, I think. So we have done this many, many times. But before I introduce them, I want to make you aware that we are doing actually, we're going to have an episode this Sunday. Yes, for those of you out there maybe that watch this later and like, why don't you ever do shows when I can watch this because you're asleep at this time normally. We're going to have a Sunday show, probably 12 p.m. Eastern. And we've been teasing this one for a very, very long time. So let me remind you what it is. Yes, it is War and the Wheel of Time. War and the Wheel of Time. And our guest on Sunday will be Michael Livingston. Yes, Michael Livingston, who is the perfect person to talk about this topic. Can't wait to dig into this with him. So like I said, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern. That time might move a little bit. Just be on the lookout. Follow us on social media. We'll put this on YouTube. You can jump on Discord. Let us know if you have questions. But that's what it's looking like this Sunday. Yes, I know some of you are saying Father's Day. Exactly, Father's Day. And so I get to kind of choose what I want to do as a father. And Michael did too. And wants to do this show. So come be there with us. It'll be fun. So, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about news. That's right, not Crossroads of Twilight, just yet. And to do that with me are my two wonderful and repeat guests. Welcome, Dani and Brett from the Wheel Weavers podcast. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing good. I can't believe we're already here. Like, honestly, there's so few books left. Just like stop reading. It's going to by too fast now.
Yeah. We're kind of in the end game now. So we're on to the last Robert Jordan, complete Robert Jordan book. So
I know. Did you have the board also? Do you have your predictions board?
We didn't do it for this one.
Not saying
you guys are leaving, and no, I'm just kidding.
Let's be real a little bit. I mean, we'll get into it, but there weren't a lot of revelations.
Wow, already dogging on Crossroads of Twilight. I can't believe it. This is so sad. Okay, so but before we talk about Crossroads of Twilight, do all of the stuff that everyone's used to us doing. I think we need to cover a couple things that dropped today. Are you guys okay if we jump into some theorizing?
We have to do the things that everybody is used to you doing.
Okay.
That's really what we're going to do.
That's really why we showed up tonight.
Yeah, because I normally can't watch this, so this will be great for me.
I like it. So let me So these are some images that were dropped today. One was of Matt. Does Matt, Dan, sorry, I was going to say Daniel. Brett, why don't you pick which one? I was going to say Matt first. Do you want to
Let's
tackle
do
Matt first?
Yeah, because
Okay.
in your little poll there, I chose Matt as my favorite scene.
Oh, but honestly, I guess let's go with the poll. Almost 200 people voted, and favorite one was Perrin. So sorry, guest. You don't get to choose this one. We let our. How about this? You can pick the second one.
Hold up yours.
let you,
Oh yeah.
So let me end that vote, and everyone said their favorite from today was actually Perrin. So we'll come back. We'll come back to Matt. But
the golden eyes.
Let's tackle Perrin first. Yeah, let's look at this one. So like pretty image, right? I think Lauren pointed out this was. The shield looks like it's definitely one that I think that one of the Shinarans are wearing. It looks like it matches there. This outfit he has on, I don't know that he really has. This definitely in one of the images that we know comes from episode 8. We saw that. Although it looks like he's definitely been in some fighting, some fight that's going on here before, because the image that we saw from episode 8 previously in their first look, his face was not like this. But
Okay.
I think anything here you want to note, obviously the golden eyes, we'll get to that. Is there anything
Yeah,
else
that's what I
about this
wanted to
image?
know.
Yeah, is there anything else about this image that you want to note?
Okay, well, I don't know. The blood splatters. We got the hairstyle. It's a little bit of a evolved since season 1, so maybe we're getting a little bit of hair growth. So it makes sense coming in later. I just want to throw it out there for what I really hope that it's related to, but I don't think it is now that you're saying it's near the end of the season.
It seems like it is, but it's possible not,
Yeah, I was really hoping that this is somewhere along the lines of the Perrin Gaul meetup.
Ooh,
because one of the coolest, bloodiest Perrin scenes that we get early on in the series, in my opinion, is the Perrin Gaul White Cloak showdown, and you could make that pretty badass.
Okay. I'm gonna say Falma is one of the options. How do you want me to name the other next option in the poll here? Where does this happen? You want me to call this just Perrin Gaul meetup? Is that what you want me to refer to it?
You can do that.
Sure.
Perrin Gaul. Any other options? Where this could be?
Yeah, Falma's an interesting one because it's just how are they going to play the battle? Because just from the books, obviously, Perrin getting his hands dirty on how much that actually happened at Falma.
I don't think that matters as much.
I know, it's just it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like that to me.
Okay, so this is a good question, and I'm not going to say that I'm able to kind of take you away from the Perrin Gaul meetup idea, but we're going to zoom into his eyes here, and I have some theories. So, any other options here, Danny, where you think this could be from? If it's not from Falma or a Perrin Gaul meetup,
maybe it's somewhere along the hunt for the horn.
Okay, just somewhere else. Somewhere else.
Some other,
hunting
because
for the
probably
horn.
there's other fighting, realistically.
Okay, let me ask. Let me ask the community here that are watching us. Okay, so as we do around here, you don't have to watch me. I'm gonna take this off the screen, and now I'm gonna zoom in. I don't know how everyone else enjoys me zoom, scroll.
People love that.
Okay, I think this is as far as
people are here for.
It's why everyone's here. Is that the? Okay, so here's the deal. We're gonna have this conversation, everybody, and you're gonna be like, "What is Matt? I don't understand. What is he talking about?" But okay, so we did this with Rand and the reflection in Rand's eye before. So I think this looks like the top edge. If you notice, it's kind of light above. I don't know if you guys can see that I'm where I'm pointing, but if you look to the right and the top, corner of his eye, it kind of looks light, and then there's a darkness there of maybe some kind of building or cover. Right? Something shading the light. And then you can kind of see that kind of goes along the pupil there. And it ends in almost a shape. And then there's some shadow kind of, looking things that I think when I look at it are people. I think those are people.
People.
I think they are people. That's what I think. I think they're people standing there. Now, so stare at this for a moment. Do you agree that it does look like there's some kind of shape reflected off his eye, and then outside of that, there's maybe, some light, it potentially is a structure of some sort?
Yeah, I definitely agree that there's a reflection in there. I see the contact line of his contact lens, so I'm most helpful here.
That's
But-
that's the only thing you're seeing.
Yeah, no, and then definitely something else.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
Gotcha.
if it's people, so it makes sense logically that this wouldn't be like a Trolloc battle, like the blood splatters. Are we talking like they're from people that he's fighting versus like shadows?
So yeah, so I mean, look at his stance, right? First of all, golden eyes, right?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
something has instigated that moment, right? It's not. He's obviously been in a fight, and he's been wounded, right?
Well, are we
So-
assuming that they're not permanent golden now?
You're right. I was going to say that.
Well, because we don't see him as golden in the other image that he has in episode 8. So, like, his eyes are not golden in that moment. So, obviously, they don't stay golden the entire season up to episode 8. If this is from earlier in the season, so the idea. So here are my three theories on this. And then maybe the fourth theory is, Matt, you're just crazy, and we'll pull that, right. So let me. I showed you that, okay? I showed you that.
I just really wish
So-
I could see what you're seeing because it sounds great.
Okay, I know this is going to be. I get it. So I understand. I go through this every year.
I realistically want to say it's the crew. It's the
So-
camera crew, and you can just see the reflection of the people filming.
No, it could be. It could be. But you see how she in the Shanshan, it seems likely that he's fighting the Shanshan in this moment, and you see how she has this kind of overhang above her, where she's sitting. That's kind of blocking out the light, and it's kind of has this circular shape to it. We can't see the outside of it or what that looks like. So one thought I had was that they're in Falma, and that Perrin is somehow like he's by wherever Lady Swaroth is at, wherever you would call this place. That's
He's
clearly
in the fight.
looks like
Okay.
it's happening outdoors, right? So that's one of the options I'm considering.
Okay.
So it's option number 2 is, yes, you've all probably seen this image before. That Perrin is actually going to end up fighting next to Rand, that they're going to fight together. The reason why I bring this one up is that he's actually looking towards them. And, you just think that Rand is the only one in that, right? It's just Rand against them. But that Perrin shows up also. And shows up there with Rand in the courtyard. That's something that we know is going to happen. At least Rand will be in this courtyard from the other images that we saw.
Right. And when
So-
we go back to the Perrin image, like the background of him is similar color.
Yeah. So let's show that really quick. So yeah, if you look back here, they've blurred it out a lot, right? But you do have what kind of looks like some stone blocks. I tried to look for that image. Let's see if I can't remember if I uploaded that image or not. I might not have. Of course I did not. So I missed that image. But it is like in the courtyard itself, you have what could easily be kind of these blocks. Like he's also in the courtyard with him. The other thought is, and I love that everyone's like, the other thought is it's the camera people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
totally.
what I, yeah.
It could just be nothing.
Yeah.
Totally
I don't
can be
know,
nothing.
though. The Wheel of Time, the Tweeter of Chaos is doing things intentionally, literally for Matt to zoom in.
That's what it is. They're like, we want him to see
They
the
really
reflection
do.
of the eye.
They actually really do want.
Okay, I'm gonna say like something else which I think is insane. But what if Perrin was actually fighting one of the beasts, the Shanshan beasts?
Ooh,
Like,
that'd
we
be
haven't
cool.
we
That'd be
haven't
cool.
seen that they haven't shown us any images as far as I know of those, and so it feels like either they got rid of them or they're hiding them, right? Hiding the view of them because they want that to kind of be a surprise for new viewers, if you will.
I can
So-
see them being not as like frequent and popular as they are in the books because like the Shanshan like swarms, but I can understand from a CGI perspective, maybe we don't want to have just like tons and they're a little bit more rare for the TV show. And even with Perrin's, like he almost is taking like a defensive position, holding up the shield. And if he's showing down against one of the Shanshan beasts, I can totally understand that too.
Yeah, he went beast mode, if you will, and like and you have like one of the beasts. I could see it. I could see someone on something like that potentially. So okay, those are my 3 theories. We're gonna ask everyone. There's almost 200 votes on this. Where's this happening? 67% believe in Falma. So sorry, Brett.
Yeah, that's
you
okay.
know.
That's
well,
okay.
we just like tried to give.
I told you
something
what I
else.
hope it
Okay.
is. Like I really want to see some sort of bloody battle for Perrin to save Gaul. Like I'm waiting for that.
You know what's happening in this shot of Perrin. So I'll
Yeah.
put these out there.
I want to
We'll move
switch
on.
mine.
We'll move on.
Somebody mentioned it looks like a gladiator scene, so now we're gonna say gladiator pit. Perrin is in a gladiator pit facing off against the Shanshan beasts. I like it.
Ooh, okay.
I don't
Okay,
think
so
that's what the entire comment was, but it's gone now. But
I'm gonna say facing Lord Turak. Is it Turak? I think that's right.
yes, yeah.
We're gonna say facing a Shanshan beast, and then we're gonna say Matt's seeing things. There we go, everybody. Those are your three options. That's right. You're like, well, give me a fifth option. You can't have it. What's happening to Shot of Perrin? Okay. Let's move on to number 2. See, I told you we're gonna get to Crossroads of Twilight, everybody. We're gonna get there, but we have some season 2 news, and our guest picked Matt as the next image to look at, everyone. So I think we should give our guest, the will of our guest here. Now this one's fun because there's some things that fans have pointed out, and we'll talk about those. What was your initial shot for this one? Yeah, like Brett, what was your shot here?
There's a quarterstaff. I want to see Matt facing off against Galad and Gawain at the White Tower.
Yeah, but when you look at how he's standing and who's in front of him, there's like a thing there that looks like the white cloak.
I know. I'm saying what I want it to be. Like I
Oh.
want that. I saw the quarterstaff, and it's like I'm excited for that, and that's what I need it to be.
I see.
So I had a funny thought here, because I didn't notice this. Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern here, this blurry corner image. I was like, what is that? I couldn't tell. It almost like seemed it was like be behind him. I didn't really get what it was. And Lauren did a little bit of work on this image, and so I want to show you this one first, and then we can come back here.
On a side note, you guys are absolutely nuts, and I love it.
Yes, correct. That is correct. So Lauren did some work, and so I did too. And he noticed, right, this looks like a piece of armor that someone's wearing in this corner here. And so Matt looks way too close to this person to be facing him. He's looking. I don't feel like his eyes are like looking at a person whose head is over here. Like it looks odd to me. So the first thing I did wonder was, is it the person with the armor that's holding the staff? Like as soon as I was like, somebody else is there, their arms hanging down here. Are they holding that? Or are you pretty certain, Dani, that Matt is holding that staff?
I think Matt's holding it.
Okay.
Which direction is the person in the armor? Is the person looking the same direction as Matt?
Yeah,
like
I feel like they have to be. Like I feel like that is the front kind of plate side, and that's like a breastplate of some sort, and that they're looking away from Matt. Like he doesn't look like he's in any posture to fight this person.
No, he's not fighting them. It looks to me like he's facing somebody and he's being snarky.
That's. I mean, he looks. I mean, I don't know if he looks. Does he look concerned to you?
No.
He looks like a little bit anxious.
He looks like he might like start laughing or something. I don't know. That's just me. Like I think he's like being snarky Matt, maybe. Maybe he's like talking at somebody rather than fighting them right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this idea that I'm seeing here. Right. So this is this is a question for us. It's Hawkwing, right? So is this like post the horn itself, is this a hero potentially?
Yeah, not enough cloud cover.
Not enough cloud cover.
It's not enough.
It's not mystical
it's
enough.
not confusing enough for me for it to be the moment that we meet the heroes.
So let's ask people that. Let's try to figure this one out. By the way, what's happening in the shot with Perrin? Hey, look at that. Facing a Shanshan beast that got 35%. Only 31% of you think that I'm seeing things. I appreciate that.
Do we know what episode
that's
the
actually,
map picture is
hold
from?
on. Can we just take a moment? That's pretty impressive. Like I looked at a reflection in Perrin's eye, and 69% of the people were like, it could be one of these options. So I think that's pretty good. Thank you,
That's why
everybody.
the people are here. I told you.
Okay, I like it. So yeah, this question of Matt, Hawkwing is here. So I saw someone mention like maybe this is like a Shanshan soldier, and it's just like he doesn't care. Matt's not going to do anything, so he's not worried about him. Like maybe Matt's a prisoner of some sort. I don't know. Like, do you think a Shanshan soldier of some sort? Like I think Turak was one of the options. It feels weird for him to be standing that close to Turak. Honestly, I have a hard time believing it. But
And like outside like that, it looks outside, right?
So, yeah, that's definitely outside. And I think I would say, to me, that's Falma. They've blurred out the background of this shot a lot, but that feels like Falma. That edge that he's standing by, we've seen like on top of the walls. They have
the
that
wall
kind
pictures we've seen.
Yeah, the wall, exactly. I feel like the wall picture, this feels like Falma to me. And in fact, okay, hold on, everybody, because, we have to do this. We got another image to remind everybody of this one.
Good.
So, because we know, like, this is definitely Falma. That looks like exactly the position. I mean, Matt looks this disheveled all the time, but that almost feels like exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like the straight line architecture too, like the flat roofs, the flat tops, like that. It kind of looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to see his mouth. Is this like a side shot, and we just don't see the staff, and then like this is the front shot of that same shot? I can't tell. Like, it kind of has.
No, it's different. He's way more concerned in that other picture.
You feel like he's way more concerned with that?
Yeah,
okay.
His brow is more furrowed, I think.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's a little bit more, it feels like, in that one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel like definitely this is Falma, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another thing someone brought up. Oh, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, have we talked about how they're getting to Falma? Are we thinking Portal Stone?
So that's a great question. We have talked about this. We have talked about this question.
Point, are we getting some Portal Stone live types of viewings too?
Yeah, we have reason to believe potentially they might give us something like they might give us flicker. Like there's a reason to believe that. It's just hard to believe. I feel like they would still use like their version of the Waygate to give us that. Like it would be like some other weave used, and it does kind of that same effect, but they use the same. I don't think we're going to get an actual Portal Stone.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair.
You know what? I'm on board for that because I never liked the Portal Stone anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of methods of travel, and for a TV show, it can get confusing too. So I understand that.
Especially the magical ways to travel.
Yeah, I understand that, but like I really think the flicker is important to the character development too. So I hope they keep some sort of like, you get to see optional realities for the characters. I hope they keep something like it.
By the way, I'm going to totally spell Shinarin wrong. I have this feeling as an option in this poll. Like Shinarin.
I always spell everything wrong. It's fine.
Okay, so who is this? We're going to move on from this one, but let's ask everybody who's standing in front of Matt right here. So, Hero of the Horn, a Shan-Chan soldier, which you can include
White
Turok
cloaks.
out there. A Shinarin or a White Cloak. Okay. I think that's. I think those are good options. So. Is it Shinarin S-I-E? Yes, E-I.
S-H-I-E.
I-E? Anyways, you all can laugh at my spelling.
Pretty confident.
Who's standing in front of Matt? So while we do that, I want to show this image that a fan out there was enterprising enough to see and notice about Matt.
Oof.
If I can.
I don't know how I want to vote for this because I'm just not sure. I want to take like a fifth option of like none of those and someone unexpected.
So this was from, let me see, who? Max. This is from Max. Max McDonald is who pointed this out. First time I saw this today. Do you see what Max sees, everybody? What do you see on this staff? Do you see a bird or a raven? Yeah.
Well, that doesn't look like a raven, but it looks maybe like a...
Oh, like a beak, feathers? Could be.
Yeah, there's beak and feathers there, right?
Could be like an eagle.
Kind of looks, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you could potentially connect that to the
Hawkwing.
Yeah, right. Well, again, who's holding that? Whose is it? Is he holding it for someone? But really, really good find from Max there of a bird of some type, and so yeah. It's. I think it definitely feels like a bird. Someone saying snake. I don't. Miss Sarah James said snake. I don't think so. An eagle, ravens. I mean, a raven makes sense, right? So
a raven makes sense, but I don't know. I feel like ravens need to be super
hawk.
distinct and
Right.
black, and I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'm just kind of thinking towards how the end of the Great Hunt ended, and Hawkwing and everybody shows up, and then I think it was like Perrin ran off into the cloud bushes to cut off a tree limb to hoist the dragon flag to be the flag bearer or something.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, is that some staff supposed to be like a flagpole maybe? And like
I like it.
Hawkwing
Yeah.
attaches the dragon banner to the flag or something like that. That's now where my brain is going, but I don't know.
I'm seeing
Like,
it
are
would
we
be a bit
gonna have
early for the.
something?
It would be a bit early for the actual Chandere, but it's probably some foreshadowing. Eagle of
Yeah.
Manetheren, you know, if only it was a bird trolloc.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask that one. About 150 who voted on this one. Who is standing in front of Matt? Hero of the Horn got 37%. Shan Chan Soldier got 39%. So that was mostly what people thought there. Okay. I know you guys all thought we were going to talk about the Crossroads of Twilight, and we are going to, but we'll do this last poll of what's on this quarterstaff, I guess. That would be appropriate. Raven. I saw Hawk.
Yeah, I think it kind of is phoenixy too.
Eagle.
I don't know. Are there any phoenix in this book series? Is that the
Anything
wrong
other
book
than a
series?
raven?
Yeah, not the
A raven, a hawk, or an eagle? Anything else we want to throw in there? No? Okay.
No,
We're
what
gonna,
else is there? Yeah.
you know,
other birds.
not yeah. Not
Definitely
a bird. Not a
I
bird.
can-
There's
I
your-
can
what's
confirm.
on this quarter
Bird.
stuff? Here we go. Okay. So moving on, Danny, do you care to look at any other images that we got?
Yeah,
Do you know which ones
Elayne,
they
you
were?
can't leave the girls out.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Come on.
I know. Everyone's like, are we ever going to actually get
Nobody
to?
cares.
Yes.
No,
This is
nobody
more-
cares. No one cares about Crossroads of Twilight. Let's talk about this.
Let's.
Just kidding. Some people care.
Okay, so here is our image of these three. So people have pointed out a lot of these kind of things out already to
Wonderful.
us, which is obviously all three of them together. We get the bands of color here. We see the ring.
But no stone in it. It's an
yeah.
accepted ring.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then people pointed out like there's no stone in this ring, which would make sense when you think about that stone and what it symbolizes. All three are here. Do you have any doubt what this is, Brett
No.
and Danny?
I'm wondering if what I think, because I actually haven't looked at like anything all day. And
Yeah.
so my initial thought, especially just from Nynaeve's defensive stance and the like concern on everybody's face, is that this is like Liandrin leading them,
Yeah, this
leading
does
them
feel
to
like
Suroth, right?
Yeah.
this does feel like a concerned look on everyone's face.
Well,
This-
it has to be because they're like in white, so they're clearly like probably coming from the tower.
Yeah.
And I know, like in the book, the way gate that they go through is in the Ogier Grove, like
Yeah.
on the tower
But this
grounds.
is almost like they're coming out of somewhere and got brought to some meeting, and they're like,
They
"What's
could literally-
going on here?"
They could potentially stick the way gate in like in the dungeon of the tower, and then Liandrin brings them down to the spooky dungeon. Is like, let's go, so they don't have to keep it in the trees. So I
Sorry,
wouldn't be
someone was
spooked
mentioning
out.
like
No, I would say that this is like after, because they go pretty willingly
Yeah,
on the journey, and then it's after then they realize they've been bamboozled.
yeah.
yeah, the Liandrin meetup here does feel like on point.
Or the
Someone
Suroth,
mentioned, like-
yeah, because Liandrin takes them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this could be. Oh, you think this is post them
Yes.
getting somewhere? Oh,
Yeah, this is like they're like, "Here we
Oh,
go on an
interesting.
important mission," and then they get to the end and they're like,
See, I was thinking this is like
We've
them
been
getting their costumes together, whatever. Like they're like getting ready to go, and they meet with Liandrin, and it's kind of secret. It's like the tower and the basement. Someone pointed that out, and I think I like that one. So,
I think this is the end of it when they're like, "Whoa."
So
we've been
this is like
tricked."
coming out of the gateway.
Yeah.
so to me, this is before,
Or the
and some
way
people
it-
think this is like out after. I would say this is before, and so I totally get this to be either. one
Yeah,
of
I would
those.
say before, because I could definitely see Egwene and Nynaeve especially being very hesitant going back into the ways, considering their first experience. So if Liandrin didn't say where they're going, and then suddenly they're in front of a way gate, it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like they would be like much more frightened if they saw the Shan-Chan. So, like, I feel like
No, I know, but
this
I think
feels
that
like-
this is they still don't really know what's going on, and they're like all of a sudden like, "Wait,
okay.
what's happening here?"
Okay.
That's
By the
what I
way,
want this to be.
there's some other things happening here, which is And this is funny that they did this, probably on purpose. See how Egwene and Elayne, their left hands are actually covered. And then Nynaeve's right hand is covered. So if the left hand is where the ring is at, does anyone here believe that all three have rings and they've all done the testing? Or do we believe the only person here that has is Nynaeve?
I don't think so. I don't think they're giving Egwene and Elayne the rings yet. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask everyone that question. What's on this quarterstaff that we just saw? A raven. 46% took that out, but it's still kind of split all the way down this. Thank you for the 150 of you that are here and voted in chat. You can always do that. So let me ask everyone here. Do you believe that Egwene and or Elayne takes the accepted test?
Well, no, and Egwene and Elayne have the same cloak, and Nynaeve has a different one.
Yeah, like they're still completely in white.
So you think the cloak itself is also like, you think the gray cloak is like
just
a difference?
Because the other two have matching like short white ones.
Yeah, it's like novice and accepted, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 novices, 1 accepted there. So that's just what I'm thinking.
Okay, we'll say just Nynaeve. 2 of them, all of them. So that'll be, do you believe that Egwene and or Elayne go through the testing too? Just Nynaeve, 2 of them, all of them. How about that? We'll add that and we'll ask everybody. Joe's in, I like Joe's in chat. Like, I love Joe. He's like, no, I can just hear him. Look at the sleeves. I agree.
Yeah.
I think this must be Joe's favorite image that came out today. I've listened to him and his companions talk about this very point many times. So not sure that not surprised that he's out there voting. So cool. Everyone's voting on that one. Anything else you want to point out about this image before we move on to the last image?
I just love it. I'm just so excited.
Do you like Dan, do you like how that seems to be like the adaptation of what they're doing here, which is kind of putting these 3? Do you think there's anyone else that's missing from this that goes along with them? Do you think that we're going to find out that Min is in this group too?
Got to get her along somehow, right?
Oh, yeah. We're going to need Min.
Okay, so by the way, I have to show one image because I did this one. Sometimes when I put the work in, I'm just like, sure, maybe there's nothing really here, but look, I wanted to do it anyway. It's not really that helpful, but it was still like I overexposed this image to see if there was anything on this wall back here. And it's like if there was some kind of like secret door, kind of looks like down by the side of Nynaeve on that wall, like it's not like all that brick right behind her a little bit, but that's all I really see. There's something up here, maybe
they're going to start
else.
incorporating different styles of waygates, because that almost looks more like a book style waygate where it's like maybe there's the vines and the leaves in stone.
That would be cool,
right? Yeah. That's what I was trying to find out. Like, could you overexpose it? Could you change? Could I set the brightness and contrast enough that we could tell if something was going on that wall back there? It does seem strange that it's just the wall. I mean, not that they couldn't brick it up like that, but I don't know, like what was that arch built for? Something,
Structural integrity, Matt. Come on.
Yeah, maybe that's all it is. So I had to do that. I didn't see much there to really indicate that there was anything else. But like I said, I shared it because I did the work on it. So that's why I shared it. Okay, over 160 people. Oh, you're still voting on this one. I'm gonna let you still vote. Our last image, everyone. Was there anything else there anyone wanted to bring up?
No, I'm just excited.
Okay.
I just want to watch it,
Yeah.
Yeah, like drop it already. Like, let us watch this show. Jeez. The last image is this one. I wouldn't say last but not least, but I think the least amount has come from this image,
Well, yeah, we're like, cool. Land's super hot. We get it.
So some of the things that came up was a question if this is one of the waygates. It does have a look like this section kind of has a look like that waygate. Or a waygate. Is it still open, like behind him? Depending on which side of this is the waygate, if this is in the middle behind him, is it still an active one? Is he going through? Has he just come out? People talked about these leaves here. Like I looked to see if the Waygate, the previous one we've seen, this kind of has more kind of palm trees. If I could kind of match it, doesn't
I was gonna say, do we have any arborists who have been studying the different foliage in the different places?
Yeah, so
in
there's people
of the Wheel of Time.
There's people in chat that are bringing up Kyrian, and maybe this is an olive branch. I've seen that a lot from people on chat today. So, like, is this how they get to Kyrian? Is that an actual Waygate, or is that just part of
the jungle Waygate?
Yeah. So is it like is this the Oasis Waygate? And someone's pointing out that Lan is back in his traveling clothes in this image. Also, like, is he seated on a horse here? It's kind of hard to tell. Like, is he standing in front of it, or is he on a horse right here? So,
who's to say?
But yeah, there's not much here. Do either of you want to point anything out that you see from this image?
I don't have a lot.
He looks really clean.
He
He doesn't look like he's all like disheveled, like he's been.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like
that's
it
fair.
definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
not like hard travel.
He's not
staying.
travel
Yeah.
worn. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
That's
out
a
of
good
bath.
point. Just out of bath.
Good.
Yeah. Freshly trimmed like goatee there. So let me 172 of you vote on this. Do you believe that Egwene and or Elayne go through the testing too? Just 87%. Are you happy with that, Joe? Are you happy? That's what I'd like to know. And we will ask one question here about Lan and move on to Crossroads of Twilight, which is why everyone's here in the first place. Where is Lan? I know they're asking no eye reflection or ear analysis. No ear analysis on this one. Screaming Swab Monkeys in chat. Eyes, I did. So I looked into the eyes of all of these images. The most, Matt's was maybe there was a little something there. It was hard to tell. I just couldn't. There wasn't enough light. They're not looking at something that's reflecting back anything that I could tell. So that's why we're not zooming into their eyes. Also, Lan here. We're just gonna put Kyrian. Karhine. Any other place you'd put here, like Karhine next to a Waygate? We'll say that, and we'll say Karhine not next to a Waygate. That's advanced. Anything else you'd like to put it like not Kyrian next to a Waygate? This is good.
That's like phonetic.
Not Karhine.
Yeah.
Not next to a Waygate. There we go. I didn't look at those twice. Those are some ridiculous options. Enjoy. Okay. We made it through those images. We definitely made that faster than we would have maybe just if it was only talking about that. But a good 40, 45 minutes in is pretty good. So without further ado,
3 hours on that.
Exactly. Without further ado, let's get into this, right? Let's get into, and we all know where we begin. If you've never watched one of these before with Dani and Brett, you've missed out, and you need to go back and watch them. And then but they know, and hopefully you know how this begins. Dani, remind us, how does this begin?
Rate it.
Rate it. That's right. Crossroads of Twilight for new readers. Rate It's one of my favorite because we get to find out how right or wrong Dani is about about this. So rate Crossroads of Twilight for us, please.
Okay, hold on.
We're gonna try and be moderately positive tonight too.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we should. Oh yeah, let's. Let me remind everyone. I mean, I'm trying to think if I have a good spoiler. This isn't full book spoilers. Let me try this one.
Full series.
Show contains spoilers. There we go. So a reminder for everyone that's watching, and I put this reminder up in chat. No spoilers in chat after Crossroads of Twilight. Please don't do like funny, fake spoilers afterwards. Don't make this like coy questions you're asking Dani and Brett about things that happen later
Don't
on.
worry, Dani doesn't have the chat open.
No winks. But people, there might be people in chat. There might be people in chat here that are expecting us not to spoil anything after Crossroads of Twilight. So let's stick to it, please. And that is where we're at. Okay, rate it for us. Let's hear it.
Get to the moon in book 11.
It doesn't happen. No.
Okay. All right. So I got to start out by saying that no offense to the fandom, but
Yeah.
they're now they're not quiet. Even for somebody like I'm spoiler free and I stay away from most things.
Yeah.
It was not a secret that people are not a fan of this book. And so
Right.
even when we hadn't even started reading it yet, we were like just finished book 9, Winter's Heart, and everyone was like, okay, so Crossroads of Twilight, 3 episodes and we move on. And I was like, no, guys, I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't know that it sucks. Like, stop projecting on me. But so here we are. I'm gonna rate it myself. And so maybe just for first time readers, we can be a little more
Positive centric.
positive
Okay.
about the quote.
Yeah.
Stop. Now, my feelings on this is that there was not a lot of closure and plot lines didn't really advance as far as they probably should have in this long of a book.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it probably 2 stars
2 stars. Where does
out
that
of 5.
set in the last 10, all 10 books up to this
Yeah,
point? Where is 2 stars the bottom?
It's 10th place, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate
it
your
is.
positivity.
Now it is. Now I do have some good things later to pull out and share.
Sure.
Overall,
Okay.
and I mean, Kate, in Winter's Heart,
Was that 2 stars out of 10 or 2 stars out of 5?
it's
It was
out of
actually
5.
100.
Out of 5.
Out of
Okay.
100 stars.
Look, I'm just
No,
making
relax.
sure. I'm just making sure.
Relax. It wasn't awful, but it also wasn't exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
get
so the end of Winter's Heart really bumped it up in the ratings, right? Because it was
Okay.
also a little bit slower of a book, but in the end, we got this
Mhm.
magnificent thing with reveals, and it felt like closure, and it felt like a win for our characters. Where I
Okay.
felt like this book, no wins, like we can't get a win. And you know how it feels when your team is losing and losing and losing and losing.
Yeah.
It feels bad. And so reading this book to me kind of felt like that. And then at the end, there's an opportunity for a win, and it's a loss, and that feels bad. So that's probably why it landed so low for me, just based on the whole like conclusion of the book itself. Not great.
Okay.
But it didn't make me want to quit the books, and we didn't get divorced talking about it. So,
That's true. It's that double win right there.
so it's not all bad.
Okay. I love that that's your category, how you categorize not all bad. Okay. So, can you remind, so I did not do what I normally do for books.
Oh.
I should have done that for this one, which was review exactly where this one ends and remind myself like the
I'll
key
tell you.
Are you
points.
going to say what happened in
So,
Crossroads?
yeah, no, I'm going to ask you, how does it remind everyone in chat who may have rated this book similarly,
Yes.
may not look forward to rereading it often, and may never have reread it? Can you remind everyone that's watching, how does Crossroads of Twilight end?
With Egwene getting captured
Yeah.
by the White Tower.
There you go, everybody.
Yeah.
If you
that's like the
She
big
makes
yeah.
a bad executive decision to do something on her own without telling anybody about it, and then she fails, and it feels bad.
There you go. If everyone
So,
remembers.
unless
Yeah.
you're like really cheering for the White Tower, and you're like, yeah, go Elida, Team Elida.
The rebel
Ooh.
scum has been captured.
Yeah.
Weren't we supposed to cheer for like Darth Vader the entire time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the good guy, right?
By the way, I'm going to end this poll because I want to ask everyone this
Oh, right.
the star question. Where is Lan? By the way, it. This is a
So
funny.
confusing.
It's basically like so split. It's like 27%, 31%, almost about 20%, and then 23%. I love that everyone took time to read every one of these answers and understand them because they're. But 31% was the winner, which is Kyrian not next to a Waygate, apparently.
Interesting.
Okay.
There you go. Interesting.
Okay,
Interesting.
people.
Okay. Let me ask everyone here, how many stars out of 5
Mm-hmm.
would you give Crossroads of Twilight?
You know,
Yeah.
we did read, so we always do a recap episode at the end, and we read some bad book reviews.
Okay.
And in this, there were actually some positive reviews of this book, like on
Yeah.
Goodreads and Amazon and Audible.
Yeah, I'll have to say, like for Crossroads, like for as much flack as it gets, it is
It's
one
really
of the
set up.
shortest books. It's not actually very long. I understand why a lot of people don't like it, but in the context of the books coming out, like we all got the cleansing, then we had to wait for Crossroads to come out, then we got New Spring, and then we got Knife of Dreams, which was fantastic. So the reason why I feel like a lot of the slog mentality and like Crossroads is so terrible is because just the wait for what we thought we were going to get after the cleansing didn't really do it justice. But all the plot lines that I typically find people complain about in Crossroads aren't actually that long. Like it's the Elayne doesn't make very much advancement into the campaign for mayor. Not very much happens.
Were there any like Elayne baths in Crossroads of Twilight? Okay.
But
she's pregnant and people just like tell her what to. Okay, we're getting into all
I know.
stuff.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
People are harder on it than they should be because it's like all those plot lines really don't actually take very much time. And if you're just rereading them, you can blast through the Elayne section in literally like a day. It's like 5 chapters.
It was 5 chapters, but for us it was like 3 full episodes.
Yeah.
And I could only read like 2 chapters at a time. Sometimes Brett slowed me down to 1 chapter at a time.
Yeah.
And so it felt dragged out for sure.
But that's how we do the entire series. So like everything's like that.
Who's paying you, Brett? Who's paying you to talk positively? No, I'm just kidding. So
I wish someone would.
that was Rate It. I see everyone over 100 of you have voted on this. It's like, come on. We know there's 150 of you. We're voting. Let's get the votes up here. They were here for the
pictures.
They were here for the pictures.
They were here for Crossroads.
They're like, Crossroads of Twilight? No, thanks. So that might skew the numbers in the end too. Like some people that maybe didn't like it have left. So do you remember what our next one is, Brett? In this series, what's up next after Rate It? That's correct. Yeah. Crossroads of Twilight, right and wrong. Another of my favorite moments here to hear what Dani got right and wrong.
So I just want to put an asterisk next to this because in my opinion, I need to add like a third category just specifically for Crossroads of stuff we don't get closure on at all. Because there is no advancement of some of these plot lines. So like I can't make it right or wrong. It's just
some of the stuff I predicted we still don't know.
Like we made zero movement on it.
Okay.
So we got to drag it out.
But what we'll talk about is the things that were revealed that I got right and wrong.
I like it. Let's kick us off. Yeah.
Okay.
You pick where you want to start.
The first thing that I was very wrong about.
Oh, you're going wrong first. Okay.
I'm going wrong.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
I like it.
Yeah. Was that I thought that the negotiations with the tower would go positively for the rebels.
Gotcha.
And it really didn't go one way or another for anybody. So, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a reasonable. It's a reasonable one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I predicted that Alviaran would be caught by the Black Aja hunters.
Okay.
Nope.
Yep. See, again, like this is kind of the issue. Is like we don't really have much advancement. We have like a chapter.
Oh, here's one I got right, and I was upset that I got right in the way that I got it right. Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
No.
Okay. So I said I wanted Tylan dead. I wanted Tylan to get murdered.
Okay.
Yeah, the exact words Tylan and Beslan can get blown up for all I care. That's what you said. You said it.
And
right. Now, the problem is I wanted her to die, but I didn't want her to die in a way that Matt felt like it was his fault and felt bad about it. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wanted her dead, but not like this.
Yeah, for those who don't remember, this is where Matt shoved her under the bed because she was willing.
She told him to do that.
She was a willing participant in the ploy, but then allegedly the Golem found her and ripped her apart whilst she was bound. So
I did not remember that. So
yeah, that's what happens in this book.
And then Tylan and then Matt
feels really bad about it because like, oh no, another woman has died because of me.
Right.
So
okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I guess you got that. You got it right, I guess.
That was a right prediction.
That was a right. You just feel great about it.
Half a star.
Okay, what else you got on your list?
Oh, I predicted that Matt and the whole crew, including Tuan, would make it out of Abu Dar.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. And we found that out pretty fast. Except, here's my gripe. We don't get to see it.
Yeah.
The start of this book would be better. Is there a section where I talk about what we are going to change about this book?
Yeah.
Because I would change this book starting with the actual scene where they leave,
Mm-hmm.
because we get this recap from Matt's perspective on how like 6 days ago this is how that night went. And I would have thought that that would be a really great way to start the book, because it's really exciting.
Yeah, because we got left on the cliffhanger in book 9 about,
Are they even gonna?
we're trying to escape. We kidnapped Tuon, and then we're like, okay, now we're escaping, but we didn't actually technically see them escape.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the
But
start.
I did say, I said, we're all getting
Yeah,
out,
you
and
did.
we did. We all got
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was just a question of like, okay, is someone going to have to sacrifice himself? Is Matt going to stay behind just because everyone needs to get out? But in fact, everyone does get out just okay.
It is interesting. Jordan does that a couple times or many times throughout the season. Is you're like, why didn't you show me that?
Mm-hmm.
That thing you didn't show me is the thing I wanted to see. This thing you did show me, not the thing I wanted
Don't
to see.
care. Yeah.
But I want to give him some credit reading these things over and over again and say, like, there's a certain frustration of not getting to see like that thing. It's like, again, Matt's fight with Couladin, you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's like, you're like,
Exactly.
wait, that was obvious. And he did it. Like, it's not like he's like a bad writer. You know,
No.
Yeah.
he
He's
understood
like, oh,
that.
you think that that's
And-
important to see? Not
Yeah, and
to
he's like,
me.
he had reasons. So there's reasons like we're like 6 days ago. Like, what? Why didn't you show me that? You know?
And now he's just like sitting there watching. Like they haven't even left.
Yeah,
They're
we
just
got
like,
Noel catching fish with him. Like it's
Yeah.
good. Everyone's being super cool and breezy about it.
Yeah. He definitely does that. By the way, I'm going to end this poll. 155 of you did finally vote on this. How many stars out of 5 would you give Crossroads of Twilight? It won 2 to 3 is where it did win. 47%. Let me end that poll. So what else did you get right and wrong?
Well, I want to give you a point that you
Okay.
called something like very early on, but like sort of in a roundabout way, because when Matt was learning that he was, fated to to marry the daughter of the 9 moons, we didn't know what that meant yet. We didn't know.
And I had
you
sort
know,
of speculated it was
culture.
Shanshan.
Yeah, like after and then we got introduced like very slowly to the Shanshan culture and like the different couple of different words that we kind of pieced it together. Like, okay, maybe it's a Shanshan person, but knowing Matt, he's not necessarily the marriage type of guy.
Yeah.
You said that Matt
It would be a cultural misunderstanding.
Yeah, you said something like, "Oh, he's gonna do it," not necessarily like,
I think I said what they're gonna do is walk around a fountain 3 times, and
Yeah.
now they're married, and he doesn't know what that meant.
Yeah,
I
and it's
said,
like, whoops.
No, I said that like a long time ago, and
Yeah.
then we got confirmation in this book that he said, "That's my wife."
Yeah,
like 3 times.
He's
and
completed half of
yeah.
the shit. Like he did the part that he needs to do, accidentally, sort of. So.
Oh, 100% accidentally. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
if,
yeah.
if fate is an accident, I don't know how you want
Mm.
to phrase that. So.
I like that you were like knew that and you're like giving some props. That's good. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
really funny when she said it. It's like, yeah, well, he does kind of accidentally do his part. So.
Yeah.
Which is on point for Matt. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, does it count? Should it count? If I didn't know, really? Okay.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I was pretty wrong about, I said that Fail, Alejandra, and Morghese will get free.
Oh yeah, it's just like not much advancement there.
And I said they can't possibly be Shido captives until the end of the series. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
So at some
Yeah.
point, and then
There
I
is-
said maybe in the next 2 books, because
Yeah.
it didn't happen this book.
Yeah. So I think what you said, like not a lot of movement. I think,
No.
so sure, there's a lot going on as far as, as Jordan was writing these books and like you, Brett, like you were pointing out, we got this next book and people just wanted I think legitimately is that idea of like movement, having some movement, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I always wonder if he did it intentionally because, I mean, the book is called Crossroads of Twilight. So it's kind of funny, but like all of our characters are literally at a crossroads for what they're doing. Matt's kind of stuck in limbo, right? Elayne is kind of stuck in limbo in Camelin, right? Perrin and Fael are kind of stuck in limbo here. So everyone's at the crossroads of their life and we don't actually get much traction.
Yeah.
So,
And I did say after the cleansing that Nynaeve and Rand would end up being okay. Like,
you did say they're not going to die.
They're not like physically injured, and we got like
Oops, sorry.
half a perspective about Rand, who's not dead.
He's not dead. Oh, and I also got to just give you no credit on one thing.
Oh.
Because you got super wrong. So she made a prediction during Crossroads because of Egwene leading up to the ending of Crossroads. She starts this like kind of secret Quendiar like
Mission.
after school club where people get to come and like learn how to do Quendiar and make it. And she was speculating the entire time, like, I don't know, are we gonna just like make Quendiar to sell it and then finance the rebellion campaign? Like, because that's the only thing she could think of. It was like, what are we doing? Just selling trinkets and that's it.
I love.
So-
There's something that's very like Star Wars esque.
Yeah, like a little bit. It's like, how do we make money? I don't know. We can make a little bit. We make pots
to fund the rebellion.
money.
You know,
I'm pretty sure that's what they said in the book that they were doing. They like told people that's what they were doing.
But then you like latched onto it as like that's the only plan. When in reality, Elayne has a super awesome secret plan. Sort of.
It's a medium plan.
Yeah.
Super awesome secret plan. I like
Yeah.
it.
Real medium.
Okay. Anything else that stands out on the right or wrong category?
That was the big stuff. Oh, you did predict that Maureen was not going to return this book.
Yes, I did.
You did say that. Yeah, last time, because it's like you've been waiting.
Well, I figured that everybody would like this book more if Maureen came back in it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like.
So
okay.
my judgment was clouded there for that prediction. So I won't take it as a win, but
Mhm.
I was right.
Yeah.
I was right, and I think that people would have liked this book more if Maureen came back in it. So
Maybe.
Okay. That would be. I think people would like this book more if it was not the same book. Also.
if like a bunch of other things.
know-
Yeah, if a
happened-
bunch of things happened that did not happen in this book, I think people would like that too. Let me. By the way, this is a great comment. Desi said, "I screen capped Innkeeper's eyeballs while he was texting. Let me know who to send these to." I was texting my daughter, so I
Just
had
playing
asked
solid-
I had
just
asked her to
playing
send.
solid
I had asked
there.
for something, and then what she brought, I was like, "No, that's not what I needed," and that was a lot of the eyeball conversation going on. So.
That's funny.
So yeah, if things had happened in this book that
Yeah.
did not happen, it would have been a better book. That's true.
I mean, good news for the TV show though is like everything can be condensed and put together. Like it doesn't really matter. Like Crossroads, and even on rereads, like Crossroads is a breeze because you fly through it, you move on.
Well, yeah, and I could see how maybe there is a lot of setup
Yeah,
for
it's the in between stuff.
Yep.
events that might happen, but yeah, I think my biggest issue with it is that more than half of the book is in the same day as the cleansing, and we just get everybody's perspective on where they are when they're like, oh my god, a beacon to the left.
Yeah.
Every single perspective from every single person for half of the book
Yeah.
is in the same day as the cleansing. So
but by the way,
there's that.
sorry for the cat meowing there. That's right. I had a cat that waits at that door, and I was getting some more water, and the cat meowing. I don't know if you.
I
could
didn't
the
even
cat
hear it.
meowing.
I wish I
Oh, some people on chat are all like, the cat's meowing.
That's funny.
So
That's
yeah,
really
pretty
good.
funny.
Okay, so in terms of predictions, that's really all we got because that's all that was revealed. So
Yeah, I know there wasn't as much to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be. That's why this next category here, everyone, is gonna
We
be an
have good
interesting one.
things.
we have
Okay,
We
okay.
have good
We have a
stuff to talk
couple
about. We do.
things.
We do.
Danny, do you remember what this next one is?
New, notable, and shocking.
New, notable, and shocking. That's correct. New, notable, and shocking. Even in a book where maybe a lot didn't happen, maybe
Some
it didn't
happened.
end the way. There are some things that happened. So let's hear let's hear what happened. What did you find new, notable, and shocking in Crossroads of Twilight?
Well, the prologue was pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Super strong start actually. Like Crossroads has a lot of really cool setup stuff that like none of it pays off.
No, we don't hear from those
Yeah.
characters again. So we get Rodel Ituralda
Ituralda, yep. The great
Mhm.
captain.
setting up for this like great Shan attack and also to get the Terrabonners out of his country.
Yeah, he
So-
doesn't like foreigners in his country and he's trying to get them all out to go fight their own battles.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a little bit rude, but you know,
I know. We
that's
get
the guy.
recap on where Valda is after he escaped the Shanshan invasion.
Hmm.
That's like
Okay.
kind of exciting. We get this like interesting little meetup just outside of Tarvalin in some cheese town with Gawain and some
Yeah.
Aes Sedai. We get some interest. Like it feels like there's gonna be
The coolest
okay.
part is in the prologue too. We get like the assassination attempts on Bashir and then his wife kind of takes the stab, and she kills one of the guys too. Like Bashir's wife's a badass,
Right.
and then also Dobrain almost gets assassinated. So like there's this like subterfuge like plot going on that we only see a little bit of stuff at the end, but yeah, it's like a really strong start to the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we are in Kyrian, and Loyal shows back up,
Nice.
which is interesting because
You didn't care about it.
no. And you know who else doesn't care about Loyal's mission? Rand.
Rand, the guy who said
Rand could give a shit about what Loyal is doing and what he's up to. Like he's like, oh right, that how'd that go? He just could not care. But then Dobrain is almost murdered in Kyrian, and it all seemed like exciting.
Yeah, stuff was happening.
Then stuff
And then stuff didn't happen.
kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Now
What I love is what you just said is this book actually has some really cool stuff having
In the
to do with all the people we don't really care about. I mean, we do care about them, but and this is where Jordan kind of does his like the magic of like bringing in all these like side plots and all these characters and giving us a little bit more about them. We love that, but at some point we're like, okay, we're 10 books in.
What about our guys?
Can you just we just can just move those things forward for those people that we started off with.
Well, it's kind of funny because like even for the Loyal thing, like Loyal was such a big part of the books for such a long time, and then Rand sends him on the mission, and we don't see any of the mission. We see none of it until suddenly he just shows back up one day looking for Rand, and he's like, I did it.
And he's like, it went pretty well.
It went okay. Like I didn't get it went 6 out of 10. Like it went medium.
Right. And no follow-up on where like Aerith and his mom are just like walking around
all across the world. Where are they?
Who knows? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's on point a little bit for Loyal.
Yeah.
That's fair. So here's something. Perrin chops off a guy's hand.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Like,
Fantastic.
Not for the chopping off of the hand, but it's for the lead up to it too. I had such a good time with it doing the recording because usually it's a pretty heavy scene.
Oh.
But the intro to that scene is just like so funny. Okay, so just stay with me. So they get a couple of Shido prisoners.
Okay.
Perrin, if you don't know, Perrin really wants to find his wife.
He's super unhinged.
He's unhinged. He basically stopped taking care of himself, stopped bathing, stopped eating, stopped all that stuff.
Okay.
So he really needs to find her, and he goes up to these Shido Aiel guys, and he's like, my wife is Fail, and she's the most beautiful woman. Where is she? You'll know her if you see her. Where is she?
She's hot.
And then he cuts off the guy's hand, and they're like, I don't know where she is, man. I don't even know who she is. Yeah. And it's just such an unreasonable expectation for them. It's like, I know you think your wife is beautiful, and I'm sure other people do too, but like these guys don't even necessarily. There's thousands and thousands of prisoners in Aiel, and you're coming out really strong here.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty shocking though. And then he like throws his axe away.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you don't think it's gone though. You think like Elias picked it up or something.
Yeah.
He still needs it.
Okay. That's coming in the predicting.
That will be. Yeah, we can talk about that.
I actually forgot that happened.
Yeah, because I was like, he just like leaves it in the tree or whatever.
Just some axe throwing.
Yeah, unrealistic axe throwing. Like, no way that thing is going top over and landing in the tree. No way.
Sure. Okay.
What else you
What
got?
else is good? What else is new and notable?
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing that's actually pretty notable in this book is the amount of Aes Sedai that we talk about and get introduced to. And that's probably what bogs all of this down and makes it really challenging to read. So for this book specifically, I got a notebook and I've been like taking notes, and I had to do things like this where I have like rebel camp sitters, and I have like color coded notes, and white tower sitters, and it's like highlighted, and here's the black Aja hunters. And so like you gotta do that, otherwise you have no idea who anybody is and what's going on.
You counted the names too, right?
92 unique Aes Sedai names in this notebook just from this book.
Just from the book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just from Crossroads. And I mean, like, maybe some of them we've like kind of heard before, like some of the Aes Sedai camp advisors, like we've for sure heard before from the Saladar and stuff. But we really narrow in on them.
Mm-hmm.
book.
I had a ton of fun doing Crossroads this time too, because once you have to know who's who and why these conversations are important, like every episode we're breaking down like, okay, who's talking to who, how do we know them, why are they important, why is this weird,
And I'll be
why
like,
is
we
she
haven't
think
met
it's weird?
them before, and Brett will be
It's
like,
we actually
yes, we
met-
did. In book 3, this is someone we know from the tower.
Moraine, she's gone.
I wonder now if that's kind of why, like the Aes Sedai and just all the stuff that's happening between the two towers. Like I think I stopped being. I was just like, I don't know. I think it's just the sheer number of names of people.
And you
gotta
know who's who and which faction they belong to and what secret
I have
undercover
so
mission.
many lists of Aes Sedai. It's like dumb. I have Egwene's advisors, and then all the Aes Sedai of note in the camp, the sitters, and then also the Aes Sedai who are with Rand, because who's bonded to what Ashaman and who's pledged to Rand, and we're kind of all over the place. More Aes Sedai in the rebel camp. Like I have just pages of names, lists of names.
You know those names better than I definitely in that book. And as the series went on, I was just like, no. I started I think I say this a lot, like specializing. I was like, nope, this is an interesting topic. I don't care anymore. You know, I was just like, nope, can't do it. Because there's just so many people.
I gave myself stickers when we did things fun and stuff, just to we did something to make it interesting. But yeah, so 92 Aes Sedai of note in this book, and that's pretty notable.
I gotta ask everybody.
Get it? Notable, because my book says notes.
Nah.
It's lots of notes I wrote.
He's playing solitaire again. You lost him. It's fine.
No, he's doing a poll. I'll make my
how many Aes Sedai can you name without looking?
All of
without
them.
looking
No.
What do we say, like 30 or under?
It's 3.
Under 30? Like
and if you just say anything that has an "een" at the end and it starts with an S,
it might be a name.
It's definitely a name. Same with all of them. And then also sometimes the audiobook pronounces a name differently.
Yeah.
From chapter to chapter.
Yep.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, how many Aes Sedai can you name without looking? Here we go. We'll find out. Sorry, now I missed your notable joke. Sorry, I was like...
come on, you can name it 100. Probably. More than 50.
That sounds like a different game here. That sounds like a different show. So...
yeah, we don't want to do that.
Anyways, I made a notable joke because of all the notes.
Sorry, I was polling.
It was hilarious. I'm very funny. So...
by the way, I like this comment. Yes, eventually the books just became all about that.
Turns out everyone is just Lanfear.
And everyone's Lanfear.
Right, everyone is Lanfear. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Okay. Yeah. Now, I did pick a favorite chapter, and because it was funny. Now, when Egwene is holding I don't even think it's Egwene. It's like a sitting of the hall. I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah.
In the rebel camp. And something gets brought up about making some kind of an alliance with the Ashaman.
Okay.
And everybody goes crazy.
Yeah.
Like literally crazy. Sheriam is crying, wailing, crying on the ground. Aes Sedai are punching each other.
Almost punching
they're
each other.
They're screaming, they're yelling, they're punching each I swear they're punching each other. It's a huge thing, and Egwene just stands there the whole time, not saying or doing anything. And I just found it so fun and fascinating.
That's the politics part. We got you. Ha.
Yeah, that part was interesting because I really thought it was a great idea. I think that the Aes Sedai should align with the Ashaman, but they have way different plans.
Yeah,
I thought Egwene was gonna dream talk to Rand and be like, hey, remember that guy who has some pull over there, we should probably use that. That's a great idea.
Crossroads of Twilight
connections.
If I remember Crossroads of Twilight, it was definitely one of the books where it got frustrating by just you have all these abilities and we still do nothing.
I choose to use none.
We still do nothing with them. Like you just said, now we can enter the dream world. Now we have these Taranga, whatever. Now we have these weaves.
Gateway around.
And you're still back and forth. They still are not communicating, and this is dumb. And I don't know if it's just because you ate. I started reading this when I was 15.
Yeah.
I don't know if by the time I got here, I was just Oh, I understood at 15 why people didn't talk to other people because, yeah, that's what teenagers don't do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point you get like older and you're like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Like you just said,
There are
you
some
thought,
things, and I mean,
yeah.
hmm But that's kind of like the biggest thing that I thought was pretty funny because I thought it was a great idea, and it ended with me being like, "Yeah, that's what I think should happen." And then it turns into this big snowball where we're gonna compel all the Ashaman and control them, and I'm like, "Okay, never mind, you guys missed it." Like, no, no. And then what's really interesting is every single different faction of Aes Sedai, no matter where they are in the world. Everybody right now is having some kind of idea about how to make alliance or control all the Ashaman. They're like realizing that it's a force in the world and they're going to have to deal with it. But the way they're going to deal with it, the White Tower, all the Red sisters are like, don't worry, we'll bond them.
And then we can probably
bond them as warders, 80 to a sister.
Yeah.
Reds are super good with dealing with men like this and no one else is, so it'll be us. And like it's just so dumb. it's just beyond stupid, so you got to deal with that the whole time. But that's a pretty notable thing, I guess.
Aes Sedai like making stupid plans feels like not as shocking.
Right.
It's like
not shocking.
Well, they've been doing it
shocking
for so long, it's hard to break their own way.
It is notable that even in this moment they can't get outside of their own out of their own way, if you will. Okay. Right. Any other new, notable, and shocking?
The only thing that's like really shocking is how the book ends with Elayne being captured.
Yeah. Okay. That's a shocker. Like
it was actually shocking, not in a positive way.
Yeah.
But I mean, like maybe some people really like that plot twist, and they're like, okay, cool. Elayne gets what she deserves by going and doing something wildly reckless. Like maybe some people like that, but
it's really just a lesson of like, don't do reckless things because nothing good's going to happen.
Especially when you're the leader here. But no, I guess that was really, really shocking because that entire chapter, I really didn't think it was going to go that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. Loghain's plotline furthers.
Sort of, yeah.
That's it. Okay, we'll talk about it though. We
have more time. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, of all the books that we've done, new, notable, and shocking, this was the least notable and shocking series.
Well, that's why it's
like.
That's why it's the last. Some people might think it's like new and notable that Elayne is pregnant.
Elayne is not.
I mean, Elayne. We're just talking about Elayne. I know, it's the same name basically. Elayne's pregnant.
Very different story.
And trying to be queen, and then there's like a siege on Caemlyn, and people think that that's. But it's not new or shocking.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's really boring. Some people love that politics shit.
I know.
Some people like that.
I understand there's people like that. Red and Black Dog said, as the official marriage counselor of the Wheel Weaves podcast, congrats on making it through this book. Still married.
It's true.
Late. I was eating popcorn earlier in the show. So welcome. And yes, very, very nice comment. Yeah. Okay. Do y'all know what's coming up next? What's next?
Our official marriage counselor.
Yeah. The good and the bad.
That's right. The good and the bad. The good and the bad. I mean, I feel like we've almost already had this conversation.
No, we got a couple things.
We got some good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loghain is my good. Loghain is the saving grace in this entire book.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you look at his plotline furthered. No one else's did, but his moved forward.
Yeah.
He had a plan, and he stuck to it, and he carried it out, and now he's doing stuff.
Okay, so just to summarize, for anyone who forgot what Loghain did, plan did and executed on. Loghain wanted to get away from the Black Tower because things aren't so good there. And then he wanted to go on on the search missions, the search parties. So we got put on that crew, and then he
teamed up with Bashir.
bailed. He bailed, teamed up with Bashir in some sort of like secret plan.
And Rourke.
And then they all bailed to Carrion, and then they all bailed to where Rand is. And then the book ended also with that crew going off to go and tell the Shanshan that Rand wants to have a team up or whatever with the Shanshan. They come back. The other cliffhanger for Crossroads is that Rand now has a meeting set up with the daughter of the Nine Moons. And we don't know the timelines on how that all is going to play out, because for Tuon's still stuck in limbo.
Hey, I wanted to talk about Logain.
Oh my goodness. But it's about Logain. It is about Logain. Like, that's
No.
what Logain did. Anyways, okay, so that's Logain's plotline advancement.
By the way,
I like
Melissa
Yeah.
KJ in chat just said, thanks to Brett for providing the recaps. A lot of us did not go back and read this book.
Yeah.
And we're all like, oh, yeah.
I figured
okay.
the whole Logain did
That
things.
happened.
It wasn't
like what?
quite enough.
What things? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I also really kind of liked the Black Aja hunters in the tower
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting and fun. Like, I'm like, yeah, root them out,
Yeah.
get them. And I really thought they might get Alviarin. And Alviarin, it's great that she gets deposed as keeper, and that's funny.
Yeah.
She gets.
She got the boot.
She gets the boot.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Oh, also, maybe it's kind of shocking. We get this sort of Masana reveal,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I thought this was like in the
but this
hated
is
it
the bad.
section.
This is the bad for
This is
me.
the bad. Okay.
Because we get this reveal because she gets in a lot of trouble from Shaidar Haran.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Mhm.
Because she didn't go where she was supposed to go. She didn't
Yeah.
go to the cleansing.
Yeah.
Right? And so Alviarin witnesses it.
That's right.
Yeah. So
and this
right after
entire time, I've been crazy speculating on who Masana might be in the tower, and I've been on bronze skirt watch because
Okay.
Alviarin notes there's a little bit of bronze skirt she can see, and I'm like, who's wearing bronze skirt? And I'm trying to figure this out, and then the veil drops when she gets in trouble.
Yeah.
And Alviarin is like, oh, it's some blonde chick I don't recognize.
Yeah. So we literally see Masana's face through Alviarin's eyes, but Alviarin doesn't know who she is. So it doesn't help.
Doesn't matter. It's a non-reveal. It's a
Yeah.
reveal that you're like, yeah, and then you're like, no.
Like,
Yeah,
wait,
like
I don't
Jordan.
actually
You
know
couldn't
this
even
person.
give me that.
I mean, like, Jordan, not cool.
You
Yeah.
couldn't even give me that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's.
so that was anyway.
I forgot that that's also happened in this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's-
because so basically Alviarin got the boot from Elida. She panics because she's like, "Oh no, I got the boot as keeper because Elida knows I'm Black Aja." And then she pages Masana, and the Masana is like shows up to the page, and then she's like, "Hey, like this isn't actually something to worry about because Elida's an idiot. So now I'm gonna punish you for paging me." And then Shaidar Haran swoops in, and he's like, "Yo, you didn't
You're
show up to the
marked,
meeting."
yeah.
And then
Oh.
he punishes Masana, and then he marks Alviarin, and Shaidar Haran's like, "I own you now." And then she has like the mark
Yeah.
on her forehead where she's like, "Oh no, you
Yeah.
touched me." So
Right.
Which would
that's
be
what happened.
Yeah.
which would be frightening. Yeah.
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 Okay, so I mean that's
Yeah.
a decent
Also-
part. I like it.
Lots of goo ghosts.
Ghosts, so many ghosts. That's
The
in
ghosts show up.
Is that in the good section or the bad section?
I think it's funny.
Okay, a bunch of characters see ghosts.
I think it's funny.
It's really like
Okay.
Scooby Doo, you know?
What's-
Okay, do you remember?
what's-
So Elayne.
Do you have
Perrin,
a
Matt all see
theory on
ghosts.
this? Do you have a theory on the ghosts?
Do you remember when they see ghosts?
Okay, Elayne actually doesn't see a ghost.
Okay, that's true.
The lady that she's with sees a ghost.
Yeah, her like maid sees a scary grandmother ghost.
Mm-hmm. Matt sees a bunch of ghosts
Yeah.
and like dances around them, and then Tuon's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, Matt and Tuon go on a
because
shopping
he
trip.
thinks, oh yeah, that's
They go on a
really,
shopping
really
trip into
interesting.
town, and then
That's
on the
so
road.
interesting. So many stores with so many silks
But there's road ghosts on the way.
ghosts.
Yeah.
And then there's another one.
Yeah, Perrin,
Perrin. Oh, in the whole town.
the whole town.
whole town is.
Yeah,
What's the town called?
doesn't even matter.
Oh, ghost town.
So Habor.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the So Harbor.
It's not harbor. The audiobooks pronounce it
Harbor.
So harbor, but it's not harbor. It's So Habor.
That's funny.
So it's
I
spelled.
now I'm like, wait,
It's a
which
big
way is
thing.
it spelled?
It's a big thing.
Which way is it spelled? By the way, I'm going to end this poll that was sitting out there. 160 voted. How many Aes Sedai can you name without looking? Wow, that's some honesty here. I thought people were going to say more. 48%, 25 or less. 40% more than 25, but only 8% more than 50. 4% of you said more than 100. Oh, okay.
For the record, I said more than 50 because I could probably get 50, but
Well, you've been.
I've been doing this, like,
Yeah.
but that's literally why.
No, I know. So, yeah, the ghosts, I guess, and then lots of weevils.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so much.
So many
weevils.
weevils. So much food spoilage.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the bad.
Yeah.
Right, back to good.
Back to good.
Did you like the murder plots of the Aes Sedai? So Anaya gets murdered, and then Karen gets murdered too in the rebel camp.
Oh yeah, which I think is Halima, and Halima is just like Halima-ing around.
Yeah,
the
and that,
book,
it
and
makes
there's
the
no,
most sense that it's
There's
Halima.
no furthering of that at all.
Halima is
except that,
Halima around. I like that.
like, what else is she
She's
doing?
like, you know,
Big Halima around the whole camp, and then
something like that.
with Egwene getting captured, though, does she escape Halima?
Accidentally, I guess so.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm pretty sure that you had predicted that
She was gonna.
Egwene was gonna pick up on the Halima thing at some point.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that was a wrong prediction.
we should be suspicious, but she never.
That's the bad.
Never
Egwene still isn't
suspicious.
suspicious of Halima. It's
Yeah.
written right here.
yeah. Again, some of the things you read and you're like, they don't communicate, and how are they not more suspicious? But yeah,
Maybe she's compelled.
sure. Sure.
You are just not having any of this conversation. I'm sure.
We're trying to pull some stuff out of here, man.
No.
We're doing our best.
I'm not going to give it to you. Not going to give it to you.
Okay.
But no,
All right.
I want us to get to, well, anyways, we're going to get there because we're close. But I want to
you
hear what
wanna
the
hear the
predicting
bad?
side.
What else?
Do you want to hear the worst?
The worst. Okay. By the way, we should change it to the good, the bad, and the worst. I
Yeah.
think is,
Because like there's a lot of bad. Basically everything we've already kind of talked about a little bit.
Mhm.
okay.
We've been trying, with the positive stuff, but yeah, real slow moving. That's the bad. But the worst by far is
Okay.
how Elayne is treated while pregnant. And
Okay.
it's the worst, not only because it's super annoying when like other people are constantly telling like women what to do with their bodies, but it's so relatable.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
As a person
Because it's
who,
realistic.
as a person who has been pregnant,
Sure.
it is so wildly relatable.
Mhm.
The amount of people telling you what you can eat, what you can't eat, what you can do, how much activity you can do, what you like.
Every day I'm coming in and I'm saying, drink the goat's milk, Dani, drink the goat's milk. And she's like, I don't even understand why I need goat's milk, but I was force feeding it.
Right. And on our podcast, we had to specifically say, please don't drink unpasteurized goat's milk.
Yeah, we did a little bit of research.
Please
Like,
don't-
it's questionable
Please
at
don't
best.
do that.
I love how you're giving
Yeah.
like Robert Jordan. No, this is a fake world.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You know how like peaches are poisonous in Rem, like unpasteurized goat's milk actually super healthy. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's one thing.
Yeah.
However, that was triggering for me
Yeah.
and terrible.
Did you like the idea? I mean, I guess this comes from like a Jordan standpoint of he really tries to make, I think sometimes these things really relatable, almost like overly, like too much when it comes to relatable. Because you're like,
Yeah.
I get it. People suck at communicating, but
Yes.
come on, somebody communicate.
Yes.
With this, did you like that we got this kind of story of a pregnancy in the books? And
I think
or were
it's
you just like,
ridiculous.
okay, this was cool, this was relatable, I don't want to read about it.
I think it's ridiculous. Like, can't it be enough that she's vying for queen? Why do we need this?
Yeah.
You did say that maybe she should drop out of the race for being
I did
queen.
say at one
Yeah.
point during at
It's
one
like,
point
does she need to be queen?
at
Do we
one point
want her to be
during
queen?
the Elayne arc, I was like, hold up. Do we even really want her to be queen? Like, why are we rooting for this right now?
Yeah.
Maybe some of these other people who have been in politics for longer, who understand and or a little bit better, like maybe they're a better fit.
She's got a lot going on. It's like
It's there's a lot with Elayne, I think, that we would be like, maybe we should do something else with Elayne. So, but I have a historic kind of like distaste for like most of her plot. So,
Mashed potatoes, right?
right, exactly.
And
Okay,
the
yeah. Anything
bad-
else? Yeah,
Yeah, the disappointment of the book was bad.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it started, right? Like 2 stars. The bad is that, well, again, so, I mean, and maybe you pointed this out with the good and the bad. I've heard you talk about other books, and there weren't like really great goods or really great, I don't know, great bads is the right way to put it, but like it was like Elayne's pregnancy, it's kind of like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, Tylen's murder was like gross.
That's true. Yeah. I'm just trying to think like the good, the bad. I'm like thinking back all about all the ones, and I think what I feel like we're talking about, and what I feel like is being proved out by this conversation is that it just wasn't. I don't know what the right word is.
I remembered the actual best part.
Okay.
Matt has Rena killed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They get Rena. Rena escapes. She stabs Egyanin, escapes the circus, and then Matt chases her down and gets her. And we get the moment where they're going to shoot her, and we're waiting for Matt to say, do it. And I was chanting, do it, do it. And then he says, loose. And then they do it. And then we get this dramatic, she gets shot with arrows and then falls down the cliff and then into the river. It's a whole thing.
And then
we're
down
like,
the stream, and it's like eventually that'll empty into the ocean. It's
we're like, yeah, got her. Because Rena, if you forgot, was the Suldam who was in charge of Egwene in book 2.
Yeah.
So we get her.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was the best part. That was the best part.
And the whole thing is like, if she escaped, then she was gonna tell like the Shanshin, she was gonna get to an outpost and be like, hey, Tuon is
over there
with those guys over there. And if you also forgot, Kharid, so the Death Watch guard, is currently on a rescue mission to try to find Tuon, and he's got like a bunch of Damani and a bunch of Death Watch guards, and they're out on a mission to save Tuon from Tom Maryland, who's like a 007 spy agent who was sent by the White Tower to extract Tuon from Shanshin controlled territory. So currently that's the theory with Kharid.
Right. Also Matt and like courts Tuon.
Yeah, they go on a date.
By the way, I have to post. I have to post this comment from Joe really quick. It's fun watching Matt's lack of remembrance of this book. Brett and Dani could make up anything right now.
Nobody knows, man.
It's totally true. Basically, what would happen is you would say it, and I'd be like, I don't remember that. And I'd just look for chat. And chat would be like, that doesn't happen. And I'd be like, chat said it didn't happen.
No, man, it didn't.
That's totally.
No, man, but that's what we're talking about. Like the no advantage. Like Perrin is stuck in the middle of his rescue mission, and
let me just point out something. You said the best was Rena got killed. Okay, so I mean, that just points out that like that's when I think about like the list of thing. I know, sure, but like when I think about like the list of great things that happen in the Wheel of Time books.
Oh yeah, like not up there.
That's like low.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything other? Relatively mid-grade, good or bad that we could talk about.
There's nothing.
Okay, so
we're really into the weeds here.
So we're getting close to my favorite one here, but we'll stop here first. This one's fun because I'd like to know if you have any thoughts here.
I do.
On our next segment,
I have lots.
How it should have ended. That's right. And I'll just be like, yeah, that's a good point. That's exactly how it should have ended. So here we go.
Sometimes I get some pushback and people sometimes like with book 9, it ended exactly like
it was fantastic.
I was super pumped about the ending. I really liked it. This ending pissed me right off. So the whole last chapter, I didn't understand what Egwene's mission even was. I guess it was written in a way that it wasn't spelled out enough for me. Okay. I didn't know what was going on or what her plan was. So the entire chapter, it's called What the Oath Rod Can Do or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's all this talking about how important getting the Oath Rod is and how swearing on the Oath Rod is to be an Aes Sedai. There's lots of that. Mm-hmm. And then she's going on this mission to go to Tar Valon. And I thought the mission was to extract the Oath Rod.
Okay.
And bring it back. Because now we're in a position of power as the rebels. We have the Oath Rod. Haha, idiots. We have it now. We can make all of our 1,000 new novices Aes Sedai. And
but what is... I try to be like, what's the point of that?
Literally, there's no point. This whole book, there's no point. It doesn't matter.
In this whole book, there's no point. I love it, how it should have ended. It should have ended with something.
Should have ended after the prologue. It was a really good prologue.
It should have ended with something that doesn't really have too much of a point either. It just would have been cooler.
Yeah. Right. So that's what I actually thought was happening. And then when she's taking a boat across the river to get there, and I was like, just gateway there. What are you doing? If you want to just get into the bottom of the tower to steal the Oath Rod,
Like, why are we boating
and
here?
it felt like there was this huge plan. And then she's like, I'm just gonna get in a boat. And I was like, what? So I was super confused. And it wasn't until we sat down to record our episode that Brett was like, no, she's blocking the harbor with Coendiar. And I went, what?
Yeah.
I never understood.
I really tried to highlight because like he kind of points out earlier because Egwene's like,
it is not clear.
Okay, so
and
on a
then she
reread.
just gets captured, and I don't
Previously,
know what's
she
happening.
looks at. We see the iron chain across, and I tried to point it out as best I could without being like, "Hey, look at that big iron chain."
I just thought she's like, "Oh, I'm in a
gonna
boat,
be
and
important.
I gotta get past the chain, so I'm gonna zap it with the power to like get in."
Yeah.
Right.
And then she gets captured because she channels and doesn't invert her weaves like she knows how to do.
All the things she knows how to do, she does none of them.
By the way, I love Riswake's comment. Positivity has gone out the window.
Yeah, well, we're like an hour and a half in here.
What did you think was going to happen eventually? You know,
I just believed that Egwene could do it. I was like, yeah, and I was feeling good. I was feeling positive. Then she's like bonked on the head.
Yeah. Let's be honest. A lot of times the plans that those kids have are quite childish plans. You know what I mean? Like,
to be fair, she's
not
like
like
18,
She also
19.
wasn't supposed to do it herself.
yeah, they're
Right.
not. But what I mean is like, yeah, they don't have a ton of experience usually. I mean, it's different with some characters where you're like, okay, maybe they can benefit from some experience that they've been given. But others, you're like, no, they're just kids and they're still working through it. Like, so you're like, this should not have worked, and it didn't. And so that's when sometimes I think Jordan's like realistic. You're like, yeah, what did they think they were doing?
I know,
and
but
it
now
didn't
I'm
work,
frustrated because yet again, one of our Wonder Girls is freaking captured and is gonna need to be saved. So
Okay.
like that's annoying.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable annoyance.
So I think it should have ended with Egwene getting a win. One of our characters should have got a win,
Yeah.
and it would have felt better.
Yeah, or like the finalization of like one. Pick the Elayne, pick the Perrin, pick the Rebel. Like pick
Even
one.
Fael, even if
yeah.
Perrin doesn't rescue Fael, maybe the Shadow Camp gets raided and they escape or something.
Yeah, like
Right.
for this book, give us one conclusion to one plot line, and it'll feel more complete as a book. But we're stuck in the middle ground of all the plot lines,
Yeah.
and
Any one of
then we
them.
get New Spring. That's
Mary
why
Sue says this book is the prologue to Knife of Dreams.
yeah, there you go, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, if you want to know a crazy way I think this book should
Okay.
have ended,
Let's hear it.
I'm still predicting a Nynaeve Mogedian showdown,
Okay.
and I would have liked to have seen that
Mm-hmm.
because, yeah, although last book ended with like Nynaeve kind of doing a big thing, so even as repetitive as it would have been to have Nynaeve do another big thing at the end of a book, I still would have preferred that.
Yes. I think all of us would have preferred something more than I think what Light Blinded Fool calls the crossroads of plot lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There you go.
literally, that's literally what this is. So,
That's well put.
how should it have ended any other way?
Okay, we have finally arrived though at my favorite,
Mm.
predicting the weaves. Yes, we have arrived. I want to hear
quite
your.
quite a bit.
I want to hear. Yeah, let's hear this out.
Okay, Moraine is back
Yeah, you
in
did call.
Knife of Dreams.
Knife of Dreams.
Okay. By the way, you carry this one through a lot, like.
Yeah,
right?
but in
Not-
book 9 she was like not book 10.
Okay.
Book 11.
I did.
Okay,
I
okay,
said book
okay.
9.
Okay.
I was really on book 9
Yeah.
for a long time, like basically since book 5 when she
Mhm.
left.
Yeah.
Because I just was extrapolating from when Tom, fought the Murdral,
Yeah.
and then we didn't see him for I think it was like a book and a half. And at that point, and so I did some just basic extrapolation for like how many books do we have to wait until we see a character return, and I'm super confident that I'm gonna need a Morin back. So I randomly said book 9.
Mhm.
It didn't
Okay.
happen.
No.
Book 11 is where it's at.
Book 11.
Oh,
There you go.
Book 11. Okay. Let me keep that one down. Moraine is coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
What else you got?
need More Forsaken. We're gonna see more Forsaken coming up.
Do you have
See
specifics?
them or we want to like kill them.
No, we want to kill them, but I also am predicting more Forsaken kind of alliance stuff. We got to come back together
okay.
and figure stuff out. Now we got like Moradin and Shida Haran really keeping tabs and pulling them all together because they were scattered and making a mess.
Last battle's coming. We gotta get going here.
Okay, so you think we're going to see more alliances and more in the open, basically? Like we'll hear about them.
Maybe,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, especially because last book we got nothing.
Okay.
No
Go for it.
Forsaken, really. Except for Masana, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So I am not that hopeful for Egwene's situation
Okay.
at the end of this book, but I'm going to predict what I hope happens. This is like a
Okay.
hope / predict.
That's what most predictions
Because
can be. Yeah.
I
Sure.
want Egwene to get out of this one herself. I don't want her to be rescued.
Okay.
That's really what I'll be upset
Yeah,
about.
like a Matt rescuing them.
Oh my god, no.
in
Oh
book
no,
3 or
no.
whatever.
Oh
Yeah,
no, no, no,
yeah.
no, no, no. So she got herself into this like hot water situation, yet again. And I want her to be able to like use her cunning, make a deal, blow up the White Tower with her powers. Like, I honestly don't care. I want her to be able to like
Okay.
get out of the situation herself. That's what I am predicting.
Okay.
It's a reasonable desire after all of the rescues that have happened.
It's just enough. Enough.
But will it happen? We know you want that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
What else you got?
So yeah, so all of my predictions involve a resolution to every plot line, and
Yeah.
so
But
it's,
let's talk about the resolution.
it's
I
a
mean-
little unreasonable.
I mean, at this point, there's not as many books left, so that's a reasonable
true.
way to
That's
predict.
true.
We have to move on from these
Okay,
plot lines.
My favorite
to...
prediction though is that so at the end of Winter's Heart, we get Tuon learning from Aegyanin that the Suldam can also have the ability to channel.
Okay.
And my prediction for Tuon and the Shanshan as a whole, well, mostly Tuon, because I guess she's in charge of them, is
Yeah.
that she will kind of change her ways on the Damani situation.
Okay.
Because I need to be okay with the Shanshan, and I'm not. And every character currently is realizing that there's no way around it. They're here. And now they're not leaving. Like, they're literally coming in with their trains of stuff and their
Yeah.
illegal cat. Like, they shouldn't be bringing their livestock and stuff in here. Like, you
Well,
can't.
and
Right.
That's not okay. You're
By-
going to
by-
disrupt our ecosystem, by the way.
by the end of Crossroads, we have Rand looking to make a deal. That's the cliffhanger with the Shanshin to like align with them because he's like, I can't
And
fight
Perrin.
both. We've got Perrin because Talonvor comes back because he left, and if you remembered,
Right. I didn't.
Talonvor left for a while. He came back and he's like, "Hey, I know some Shanshin guys who might be able to help out with the Fail situation."
Yeah.
So Perrin's making a deal,
Yeah.
and then Matt is
Obviously.
courting.
Literally
one.
going to marry
Yeah,
the leader
yeah.
of the Shanshan. And that makes me feel bad.
And
That's like an-
Egwene's saying they're going to attack the White Tower.
yeah,
Disaster.
right. She's saying
So,
that.
and I think again, any prediction, it makes sense, right, to have all those things coming together. So, okay, I took down Tuan. Your prediction about Tuan.
Okay. I think Elayne will take the throne next book, but she's going to be pregnant forever.
For all eternity.
Mhm. Yeah, especially with the rate at we're moving here, we're like a couple weeks. So I think it's going to be forever that she's pregnant, and we're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And she's definitely not telling Rand. Like, maybe ever.
Yeah, I think you said that maybe last time, or yeah.
Yeah, she really doesn't want
You're
anyone
like,
to know.
no.
Oh, you know what else happened in this book? Stuff with David Hanlon. He was like eviling around.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit, but like not a ton.
He like went to some place and killed someone.
Yeah, just like a little bit.
That was
It really wasn't very much.
it
Just-
was a thing that happened.
No, I get it. Okay. Quick, tell them about the ghosts.
Oh yeah, ghosts. Okay. So here's my prediction about ghosts. And
The prediction or
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what I want to happen. I either want the ghosts to go away and I don't need to hear about them ever again, or I need them to be very important. I really, really don't want all of these just like random ghost here, ghost there, ghost there, and then it like literally never amounts to anything for like any reason other than, oh, the dark one's touching the world. I need it to be super interesting, like Ghost Army or something.
Mhm.
You know, give me some like real reason to care about all these ghosts.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the Ghost Army idea.
Okay. Oh, I think that we're gonna learn about Noel a little bit more.
Yeah, he's on like your suspicious
He's
list.
on my suspicious list.
But
so.
you haven't really clarified as to why.
Well, that because he's suspicious.
But like why?
Because he gives me a gut check. He's super suspicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and Elias probably picked up Perrin's axe or something because he's gonna need it.
Not stuck in the tree still.
Didn't leave his axe behind.
Phew. Yeah. Smart.
He's got to chop off more hands.
To find my wife. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. By the way, after predicting the weaves, I think I'll have to like cut us a little bit short, just because I've tried to I just haven't felt good right at the end of this. And I've been like, oh man, like I don't want to cut you guys off a little bit.
No, you know
quickly.
what?
I
We're
was
pretty
like,
much done.
oh,
so.
weird. Like, what I don't want to do is like have something. I'd be like, ooh, I'm not feeling well, and I don't like want that to happen here.
No.
So,
That's
but anyways,
okay.
after predicting the weaves, like, but yeah, go for it.
One prediction that I think is important to just get on the record, because I love it personally.
What?
You said that Matt, because he's stuck in limbo right now, doing basically
he should
nothing.
go to Elayne.
He should go to Elayne and become her general because
She needs one.
Gowan didn't show up when he was supposed to.
Yeah.
And Birgitta hates the job,
Yeah.
and Matt is like a general, so
Yes.
that would be kind of cool.
Give him some purpose.
So
'cause Matt's
specify
really
that one.
bad.
Specify that one again. Matt as what?
Elayne's
Elayne's-
general.
General.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the
Okay.
Andorran army.
Yeah, because Matt is currently like just doing nothing, trekking across the country, and
Okay.
really not doing anything for anyone
Right.
at all.
All right.
So, I mean, I want to go back through really quick the ones that you did. You put like the last time we did this, you said Fail and Morghese and Alejandra are going to get free in the next 2 books. So, what happened with them for this last one?
Well, they didn't get free.
No, they're stuck in the shadow.
Literally nothing. Literally nothing happened. And
They're
so
being pulled by all sides, with Galena and Thurava and Savannah. They're really just stuck.
yeah, there's
in,
lots
Now,
going on. They're
you-
really stuck in there.
You gave yourself 2 books. So, do
We'll
you
see.
feel like, does that
Yeah.
still look like a hangover on that one?
Maybe. Yeah. I
Okay.
was thinking that probably the Shanshan are going to come in and like blow them up. And then maybe they'll escape. Yeah, we'll blow the Shido up. I'm sick of the Shido
Oh, yeah,
plot. I
yeah.
need the Shido plot to end. I've been sick of it for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then also maybe some closure with Massima.
Okay.
That guy sucks too. So,
So you had Samael coming back transmigrated was one of
Oh,
your last
yeah.
ones. Okay, is that
Forgot
still
about
okay?
Is it still on the table?
that. Sure.
Do it. Okay.
Interesting stuff is always on the table.
Okay.
Anything interesting, I'm like, yeah, do it.
That's true. I forgot you did have Moraine is back by book 11. So you said by book 11. So I guess yeah, you have it through book 11.
Yes.
Rand never finds out about Elayne being pregnant.
Oh yeah. That's
You still
a
feel that?
prediction.
Okay. That's still out there. You still feel because you said Elayne would be pregnant forever.
Yes.
And then Dashiva is gone for good. Are you still feeling that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. And then I have down here taint. Male channelers don't go more crazy. The reverse happens. The more you channel, the more you are healed from the taint.
Yeah.
You
I
still feel like
the
that's an
same way,
ongoing.
And we
Okay.
did this. We went through this entire book, not really
There
getting.
wasn't even enough days that had passed to
To-
get any resolution on that.
No, we had one of the Ashman near Perrin smiling a lot.
Yeah, but that's like probably immediate after effect of like, oh, the taint is cleansed because the cleansing literally was happening at that moment
Yeah,
and
we
then
get
was
nothing.
done. So
We got nothing on that. So
yeah.
carries forward.
And then you had, let's see. I mean, you had Matt and whole crew will get out of Abadar.
Yep.
So, anything that you've predicted so far, like I guess predictions that did not come, that you kind of came into this with, do you recall where you're just like, no, that didn't, it's over? I wrote down the ones I had from last time. Were there any that you had kind of going a list?
I know.
wise?
I think I'm feeling negative coming off of the last book, and so it's hard for me to rev back into, because coming off of the cleansing, like there was so much closure and so many predictions that were kind of checked off and
Yeah.
closed off, and then so now coming up with new ones, and I have no idea where this series is going at this point. So it gets more and more challenging to make predictions like that, and so yeah, I'm just sticking to the stuff that did not get
That did not
covered
happen.
in this book, and let's move forward and see where
Yeah.
it goes.
Finish
Okay.
the plot lines and then let's do
But
it.
Although not, yeah, I think the plot lines will just continue to branch.
No,
right?
I know, I get that, but like at some point, Elayne is or is not queen, right? Like there's not going to be limbo forever.
Oh my god, I hope not.
Perrin and Fael would at some point she's either going to be free or she's dead, probably, right? Like it's
So-
gotta.
At some
But
point,
look, I know you guys came in kind of talking positively about it. As in, look, in the end of the day, I know a lot of fans said, this is not their favorite. You've pointed out, I think, some good reasons why I don't think fans were kind of making that up. As in,
I know.
it
just like
and it's
let me
and it's lame, right? But you wanted to have that experience by yourself. I think you inadvertently you have kind of been like, these are the reasons why. Or like you've laid out the reasons why as we've talked, which is nothing much really happens, and that's I guess
I was
it
getting
kind of
towards the end, and I said to him, I said, how could there be a book written where literally nothing happens? Like nothing is happening this whole book. That's what it really, really feels like. And so
yeah.
I'm looking onward and upward and hope something happens in the next book.
So but I want to so this predicting the weaves, we're kind of in the weeds a little bit. Like, do you have large scale predictions? By the way, I know people have sent me little notes like feel better. My wife, I had sent her
are
a
you
text. By the
okay?
way, I was sending her a text and I was like, "Can you just open the door and like throw a fan on?" I
If
don't know,
you
like
wanna
a fan.
go, like,
Oh
we
my
can
God,
No,
go.
stop.
Like,
She threw the fan.
we are-
It's really funny. I just want to tell you this. It's like she threw the fan on right in that moment where I was like, "Man, I think I'm gonna have to go." She threw the fan on. I have like second life right now, so
Okay.
I'm feeling
Don't,
a lot better
throw
now.
up on your computer or something.
No,
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I
gonna
just don't
pass
like. I was
out?
like getting like, yeah, I think it was just so hot in this room, and my phone died, and so it was like a really funny moment. Where like she was like, I was like, literally right after I
That's
told you
on
that.
camera.
Literally after I told you
would
that, she like
message
opened the
you,
door and it was like,
on Instagram. I would message her and be like, Matt.
no, it was just a really funny moment. It was like a really funny moment.
Camera.
Like that would be. I was sitting here going like, no, I'm holding. We're gonna do it. And then I was like, I think I gotta cut it short. And then she opened the door and like turned this fan on. And I'm like, let's move on.
Cool. Okay, let's talk more about.
So no, I want to hear your large scale kind of like, you said Egwene, for example. You said, I just want Egwene to get out of this herself.
Yeah.
What is your prediction of Egwene getting out of this? Like, I know it's like we kind of got like really focused in the weeds of like, check off this thing. Like, stuff still needs to happen. So do you have like, on the record right now, do you have something where like, this is what I think is going to happen to Egwene and how she's going to get out?
Yeah, I think Egwene, in the end, is going to be the Amerlin seat, and Elida will be deposed.
Okay.
Like,
Nice. Okay.
like that's my prediction for kind of end game for this.
There
tower
you go. Throw me some like, like get
want
out of it's
stuff.
kind of a fun one, but okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't have like, next book this will happen, but just long-term predictions. Egwene will be Amerlin seat, and Elida won't be, and the tower will be reunited, and things will be way better, I think, under Egwene, just based on the whole anybody can come be a novice. We're not cutting you off at whatever it is, 16 or 18 or something like that, right? Like even the fact that she already has 1,000 novices is
That's like
more
1,000 more than they have currently in the tower,
right.
roughly.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that the tower will come back together, and it will be strong for the last battle. I do think that.
So thank you. Like, I was like, we're getting too much like, what's going to happen in the next book versus like, I want to hear some of the bigger ideas.
Some big guys.
By the way, thank you very much for the tip here. A wind rose in the dusty wheel. Yeah. It gave me a little bit of last gasp of breath there to get through. Any other big predictions before we jump to keep or cut for TV as our final category?
I do think that Matt and Tuan will get married.
Okay.
Like, for sure. And I mean, like, I know Fate says it and stuff. And at this point, it's super self-fulfilling prophecy because Matt would have never said, she's my wife, if he hadn't have heard the prophecy. And it's a whole, like, Taviran, wheel weaves, whatever. But, so I do think that it will result in marriage. Okay. And hopefully it results in the Shanshan, like, abolishing slavery. That would be great.
Okay.
Because if we have to live with them, then I want to be more comfortable about it, because I'm not that comfortable with it, with them and with everything. So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. So there's
Love it.
that.
Okay.
What about Perrin?
Okay, so
I don't know.
So with the Perrin file plotline, one of the questions that I'd asked you was how does she get free? Does she save herself? Do they like make a deal with Galena or
yeah, I
Savannah?
really think the Shanshan are gonna come in.
We
and,
got
like,
an
blow
introduction
up the
to
Shadow.
Roland too, who's kind of like saying, "Hey,
That won't matter. That's dumb.
okay." No, I was just like, because he was like, "Hey, I like you. Whatever happens in the Shadow Camp stays in the Shadow Camp.
Do you want to be my like capture wife? Like, no, no, that was stupid. And
yeah.
I
Does
don't
Perrin come in? Like, how does that resolve?
No, that was really dumb. I really do think that Nynaeve and Moghedien are gonna show down, and Nynaeve is gonna kill Moghedien.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen in this like series, I riot. Like the end. Like,
okay.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Or the reversal. I've already put that on the table.
Moghedien kills Nynaeve?
Yeah, why not?
No.
Okay.
Nynaeve is gonna die. Nynaeve's not making it to the end, but it's gonna be like she's gonna sacrifice. Like maybe she kills Moghedien
and like dies
in the process. But I also need to see some bodies, because that's the whole thing about Lanfear and Moraine, right?
Yeah.
Same situation. If we're falling through like a weird magic door, no, not okay.
Okay. I like these bigger. Well, we'll come back to this topic again, but I like hearing these, and think about that for our next one, because you're going to read Knife. Well, you're going to read New Spring next, or you're going to read?
No, we're done New Spring. We already read it.
We read New Spring after book 5 because the show was coming out.
Yeah.
And
did we ever talk about New Spring?
No, and we're not gonna.
Okay, so I mean,
this was bad.
Think about Knife of Dreams and think about big predictions. I'm kind of curious for the last kind of final, what you have there.
Especially the last Robert Jordan book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, this is it, everyone. Our last category. And we will let everyone go. I made it to the end.
Matt is gonna literally smash the black.
Yeah, right. Keep or cut for TV. Is there anything here you would? Is it the whole book? What would you keep or cut for TV?
I know. So the thing about this whole book is that half of it takes place in one single day that can be shown.
You wouldn't have to technically cut anything. You could just do
it could be shown in literally like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where you're just like flashing to where everybody is,
to the different cats, being like, "Oh no, what's happening?
At that. Oh my gosh, look at this! Look at that over there!"
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. So
I love that. Like, this is the one
that,
book.
But...
I love this is the one book. You're like, yeah, they just do it because it would take them 30 minutes, and
yes,
it would though.
The entire book would be one episode.
Because like if we're in the middle of all these plot lines, show everybody reacting to this big thing. Maybe some speculation.
Like, I think that like the biggest things from this book that we're keeping is probably Matt and Tuon, especially because we know just from the season 2 stuff that the Shanshan are coming in and they're going to play a role in the show. And so likely we're going to have this big Matt and the Matt and Shanshan connection. Like, that makes sense to me. So probably that's being kept. And this whole courting situation that happens in this book will probably be kept. It's likely that they will keep Elayne getting pregnant. Maybe for intrigue. I don't even really know. Or like where it will happen.
Right.
You know, like some stuff from this book will be shown somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this one's easy probably to take, and like you can take pieces of this and insert them other places and like it doesn't have to be in this exact way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, especially if they do what we think and cut the Shido down a lot, and then Fael could still be kidnapped by like not the Shido.
Yeah.
And she could be kidnapped by literally anybody else.
Cut the Shido. Say it every time. I say it every time.
Mm-hmm.
Go away.
Yeah. They should have ended They should have ended with Couladin dying, and it's like, go back, go back to the waste.
Why are you?
I still love it. I still like whatever happens in the Shadow Camp stays in the Shadow Camp. That's so good.
He literally like says that. Yeah.
He does pretty much say that. It's like
by the way,
word from the book. I don't know.
My fellow innkeeper, he goes, you have the same New Spring conversation every time. Look, we can't remember this stuff. There's too much going on. Okay, well, I love the overall sentiment that it's like there's not much happening here, so they don't really have to cut much at all
No.
because it could happen really quick. I think
Mhm.
that shows you just how much 2 stars is going to get
Yeah.
you.
But you know what? I'm gonna say it for the record, like Knife of Dreams is one of my top 3 favorite books. So like, I am 100% excited for next time we come back.
Hey,
Talk about Knife of Dreams.
hey, let Dani read it first. Then we'll talk about how much you
Yeah,
love it or
don't
not like
talk
it.
about
Jeez.
Top 3.
Like, I don't want anyone telling me that they like the book
Okay.
or don't like the
Yeah.
book.
5 out of 10.
5
Medium.
I just feel like individual people could be like, "Here's I like."
Oh,
this
yeah,
book,"
like, it doesn't
or
mean
I don't
anything.
like this book. But just like the overwhelming, we hate this book
Yeah.
was a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like I'm not shocked by anything you had to say,
Right.
even though, like Joe said, I can't remember half of the things or a quarter or basically anything. I think I wrote this in chat. Like, it's at least been 10 years, definitely more, because it's like, when did the last book come out? Was it 2013?
No.
Mhm.
Our goal was
Um,
just to help somebody get through it.
Yeah.
Because so many people stopped reading at book 10. Like, that's the overwhelming experience we've had, or what we've got and what we've received from people who listen, is that book 10 was where they gave up. They didn't
Interesting.
keep going. They put it down and didn't pick it back up. And so if we've helped anybody keep going through book 10 on to the rest of it, then like our job is done and we feel good. So
That is a noble calling.
it's the life's work.
Keep them going. My fellow innkeeper said he would start the giveaway. Thank you. Totally forgot about that.
Ooh,
But we made it here long enough.
good thing you
The
didn't
the
pass out.
fan
Yeah.
the fan gave me another 10 minutes of time, and so hopefully we'll see an actual giveaway starting here in chat shortly. Yeah, there it is. The Dusty Swag raffle has started for viewers. Make sure you put an exclamation point raffle as a single word, and only do it once. If you do it more than once, it's not going to help you, and it might hurt you because they might kick you out. So. Thank you
Can
both.
we-
Sorry that I had a little moment there, halfway through.
You don't have to apologize.
I got
for
through.
that.
I got through all the images,
TV.
and then after, literally, our second thing, I was like, something's not settling. And so you probably
I was
heard.
feeling bad because I was coughing in the first half because Alberta is
on
on
fire.
fire and smoke is bad for the
It's
lungs,
been so
and
bad.
it's been bad. For
No, I just feel bad because there was times where I'm like, I can't even talk much if I do. That's not
Well,
going to be
and
good.
you know what? It worked though for this.
For this book, yeah, exactly.
Like a
I was
bugs.
like, "You're not having any of this." You are excited about
when
any
you
of
said that, I was like, you don't know the half of it. And I was like, yeah, yep, so I appreciate you keeping it going.
Well, no.
Although,
thanks
like you
for-
said, there wasn't much to really dig into deeply. So I feel
Can we
like,
see the cover.
oh
Can
my
we pull
gosh,
it
yes. Yeah, hold on.
We have one thing that we discovered in our prologue episode.
That's the funniest.
Because at the beginning of every book, we kind of look at the Daryl K. Sweet artwork,
Who doesn't?
and
and talk
talk
about
about
what
it,
the hell is
and
happening.
I make a couple predictions based on what the cover shows, and we made a wild
yeah,
discovery.
Okay, here we go.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, excellent.
So this is
That's
an
a good-
important scene because on the little version of the book,
like the paperback.
like the paperback, the smaller and not like the big hardcover copies. I don't think we're on the screen right now.
No,
But most of
all
that
you can
scene,
see is Tom there.
you're
or-
cut off.
do you want
at
me
the
to-
line. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
so on the little paperback version, you're cut off. You get Tom in the corner here,
and Matt.
Yeah.
and Matt. But then on the spine, it's all
you can't-
covered up. You
you can't
can't
see
really
anything.
see anything.
But then I had one of those,
Yeah.
ginormal hardcovers,
She's got the ginormous one,
and
where
I
it's
was like,
huge.
"Who's this blue guy?"
Who's the blue guy on the book? So if
And so
now
we're
if you go
trying
back,
to figure out. So
Okay.
go back to the artwork.
Yes.
so zoom in on that blue guy.
The blue guy, and Brett's like, "Blue guy's not even on my cover," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Blue guy's on my cover," and we're trying to figure it out. Who's this blue guy? Who's this blue guy?
So blue guy,
Blue
if
guy's-
you zoom in as close as possible,
Blue guy's 2 on.
blue guy is 2 on,
Yes.
and blonde guy is Solution.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing. Just-
What is this outfit?
Yeah, and obviously, just like all the other Daryl K. Sweet covers,
Is
this
is
is
that-
not a scene that happens.
That's supposed to be Matt, right? That
That's
face.
Matt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We
mat.
got Tom
Up behind you,
up behind in the purple getup. You can tell from the
white
from the
mustache,
white mustache.
Yeah.
and then blonde Solutia and blue guy Tuon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Faces. Not his, never thought it was a strong suit. That's for sure.
Yeah. But it's just like that. The blue guy and the blonde guy are the funniest.
Yeah, because I was like,
Because
who
what is this
is
blue
this?
outfit? Like why?
But the trees, man. The trees. I feel this. I feel this a lot. Like if I ever draw, it's like a tree. That's all I can do. A tree is all I can do.
Actually, those trees are pretty much the best part of this cover.
It is. I mean, the trees are actually really. I love the trees here. So thank you for bringing us through that last moment of the cover. And why don't we end the raffle out there? Once you hear this, Innkeeper, let's find our winner tonight of some Dusty Wheel swag. I do this a little bit differently than my fellow Innkeeper does. I will get you a gift certificate. All you have to do is reach out to me on Discord or social media, get me your email address, and I've been decently good about sending those out recently. Not great, but
you can do
decently good. So once this ends, it'll end here shortly. Hopefully you've joined in. And Boots of Time said, "Can you see my hands?" There's a picture. Yes, there's my hand. I don't know if this helps. There's my hand. And so what Boots of Time is asking for, a reason why that maybe was weird for everyone, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah, we're confused.
Yeah, I understood that. So I think it's right here. Let me get the tweet, everyone. Yes, here is the tweet this comes from. So there you go. See this image? This was in the Wheel of Time. You'll notice.
Oh, yeah.
Eagle Eye fans notice this was on SD and two fingers on C, SDCC, or San Diego Comic-Con. And so the belief is that we're going to get something at San Diego Comic-Con, or they just happen to be pressing those keys.
No, they don't have to do anything. And the little token.
And this says
Tweeter of Chaos.
Tweeter of Chaos, right?
Yeah.
So that people were like, maybe your hands match. No,
which is why I'm sure they put the images on the eyeball for you.
What's funny is it does seem like they had a ring that they took off. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm like starting to look into this image. No, we don't have time, everybody. We'll do that later sometime. They did seem like they took the ring off. That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe because they don't want you to read into the ring if it's just like a ring. Because sometimes a ring is just a ring. It doesn't have to be like a ring, you know?
Thank you, Boots of Time. I think Matt is clear. I agree. Matt is clear. Okay. By the way, oh my gosh, we have a winner. Sorry, I totally missed it.
Everybody was like, "Woo!"
While I'm doing this, who's our winner for this Dusty Wheel? Let's see. Sorry. Congratulations, Brienne. Brienne won. Brienne, congratulations.
Yay, Brienne.
Reach out. Hopefully, Brienne said something. And I made it through. I did not throw up on live stream here.
Or like faint.
Yes.
That's great.
And we made it through all of our, and we even gave something away. So,
look at that.
I made it. I made it, everybody. And like I said, please be back here this upcoming Sunday, because we're talking about war and the Wheel of Time with Michael Livingston, and I'm sure I'll feel better then. And yes, thank you very much, Koala. Make sure you go watch the Wheel Weaves podcast. Check them out. Their link is in the description here. So
everything. thewheelweavespodcast.com. Find us basically everywhere and on YouTube. With
Christian's like, Matt is slipping. Yeah, that's right. Matt is just Matt's hoping to actually hold on to the record that he did make it through this. So everybody, thanks for. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say what's interesting is we're doing Knife of Dreams a little bit slower. We're really taking our time through it, and we're actually not going to be done until like November.
Yeah, we got a while probably.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got a while.
Especially because the show's coming out and everything.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you both taking us all the way through Crossroads of Twilight, even though it seemed like at some points I was not interested. It was
I wasn't either.
Thank you all, and like I said, Brienne, congratulations. Reach out for me for that gift certificate. And as we start on here, good night from the Dusty Wheel, and smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
Sad.
not
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
it does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Perrin's like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like
This
all
is
of a
not
sudden,
just
it's like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a moment
for those that
ago,
are kind of interesting.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and
Probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
Sad.
not
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
it does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Perrin's like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all
This
of
is
a
not
sudden,
just
it's
a
like, wow.
traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a
for
moment
those that are
ago,
kind of interesting.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and
Probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
Sad.
not
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
it does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Perrin's like baby face mounted on like a